Live from Waukesha Studios, this is the Pinfall Wrap-Up with your hosts, Andrew Carraci, Robert Roth, and Jared Lehouiller. I am Kevin.
Thank you for that obnoxious and ridiculous introduction. Yes, I am Andrew Carraci with alongside
Robert Roth
and our new three-chair,
Jared Lehouiller.
And Rob, what do we have in store tonight?
All right, so as always, we're going to be reviewing this Monday's episode of Monday Night Raw. It's kind of an interesting one. We have some predictions going into the impromptu pay-per-view roadblock, or I don't know if I'd call it the pay-per-view, maybe the Saturday night special that's coming up. We have Kevin's Corner where he's going to go over, I don't know, are you going to go over NXT stuff or some indie stuff? Kind of a little bit of everything coming from Kevin's Corner, and as always, much, much more.
And for the people who are looking to find us, say via, if they're listening to us live, obviously they found us, but if they want to get a recorded version of this podcast, where would they find that?
Okay, we can be found on the Podomatic app or at podomatic.com by searching for Pinfall Wrap-Up. We're also available on the Podcasts app. If you have an iOS device, just search for Pinfall Wrap-Up. Otherwise, Google us or search for us on YouTube, and you'll also find us there.
And Justin.
Yes, sir.
You got some numbers for us for last week?
Yeah. Give me
so
1 second.
Last week, if you missed it, we interviewed Imperium, and I thought the interview went pretty well. Jared was here.
Hey.
What'd you think of that interview? Thought we did a good job?
Yeah.
They did a good job?
Zach needs to talk more.
I actually thought he was perfectly fine in it. Like, when I re-listened to the show, he came in just fine, and towards the end there, it was kind of, there was some things going on, but yeah, obviously I'm not going to share that on the air. But yeah, we talked a good hour just about music in general. Good hour and a half even. Went a little long. But I thought it was a pretty good show, and definitely something that we will look more into going for the future with bringing in maybe some people that aren't necessarily through wrestling, but we can cover more than just pro wrestling. Justin?
We had 65 people visit our site. We actually had 20 of them in the first day. It was nice. And then we had 13 downloads.
I thought it was more than that.
No.
So only 13?
65 and 13.
Okay. That doesn't, okay, that's cool.
What about YouTube plays?
Yeah, you got our YouTube plays?
Give me 1 second.
And, yeah, we had a little bit of technical difficulties. Our video got taken down for 2 days, which I think killed our views. But it did get back up, which is good. We really got to work on copyrights and stuff like that. We have some problems with that. Super Bowl. There.
We're not really making any money, though. I'm not sure what the issue is, but, I mean, we're not really making money. We aren't making money off of this, just to be clear. No one is making a cent off of this. There's no YouTube money, no advertisers, no nothing. None of us are making money, so I'm not sure.
For the people that, when we get flagged for copyright material or stuff like that, it's free advertisement for them. I don't understand why it's sometimes it's even an issue.
Yeah, I mean, we aren't benefiting in the slightest.
Right.
Is the thing. I mean, it's not like, I can understand if, we were playing a song or whatever it may be, and we were making actual money off of it, like even a dime, but we aren't. So,
Justin.
Yes, sir.
Got our numbers?
22 views on YouTube.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And
so all combined, I mean, we're sitting pretty good.
Close to 100.
And like always, since we got our full crew here tonight, if you're listening to us live, if you're coming late, leave comments during the video. Patrick will be going through them pretty much the entire show, responding to them. If he thinks something's interesting to the show, he'll bring it up to our attention, and we will interact with you throughout the whole show. Otherwise, I check the page every day. You can leave comments on the our YouTube page. Go back, check out our later videos, and Facebook as well. Facebook, I run the Facebook site. I think Justin's going to start running the Twitter site. I'm really bad with Twitter, and we're going to just try to just give us feedback of what you want us to do. Anyways, with that said, Monday Night Raw was a thing again. There was some interesting things in here. Overall, I thought it was kind of another boring show. I had a couple, like I said, things that really, which we'll get into a little later. But Jared, what you think of Monday Night Raw just as a whole? I know you only got to catch like the last hour and a half, but what you saw of it?
One of the matches was really good. The rest was kind of boring. It wasn't that good, in my opinion.
Rob?
It started strong and then just kind of lost steam. Like it started with a Shane Vince promo, really good, and then just from there, just kind of hit a wall.
Yeah. Oh, about that copyright thing. They took down everything. They took down everything Pinfall wrap-up related. They took down some of my Madden live stream, which I don't even understand why that was even like taken down. And then they took down some of my backyard wrestling stuff too. So, but it's all back up and it's all running smoothly.
Your backyard wrestling stuff violated so many copyrights. I couldn't believe it was up for as long as it was.
Right, I know. I was doing the pedigree without giving credit to the person who does the move.
Seth Rollins.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to share trade secrets here. So, should we get into Monday Night Raw?
Yes, sir.
Well, we open up with a Shane McMahon promo. It's good that they start off the show with Shane McMahon. I thought that was the right move there, and kind of talks about how he's not sure how he's going to beat the Undertaker, but he's going to win because his dream is to run this company. What do you think of that?
It really puts it builds the match up. I think they're trying to make it believable, not from the fact that Shane's a great fighter, but just because he has so much on the line for it. So it builds it up. It kind of makes it. I don't want to say it makes it believable that Shane could win, but it's showing that he has a determination that he needs to win it. So,
do you think this match is still going to happen, or are they going to replace Shane?
No, I think it's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, he's training pretty hard. Actually, I don't follow him on Twitter, but I've been keeping an eye on like what he's been tweeting out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was a strange delay, but
yeah, it's on like a 10-second or 15-second delay.
That's okay. Well, I'm just thrown off now. That just ruined everything I was going to say. Thanks for that. But no, I don't think they're going to switch him out. On Twitter, he's been showing that he's training pretty hard. Like all that stuff he did with knees and punches, like he was showing videos of that over the weekend where he was training knees, training punches. So I would like to see a warm-up match maybe.
Maybe at WWE Speed Bump?
Speed bump, pothole, sinkhole, whatever.
I guess that's not going to happen now because there's only one more show and they're not going to announce a match like that on SmackDown.
Right.
So I don't think he's going to get a match before that. Jared, how do you think Shane's going to do against Undertaker?
Well, from some of the bits and pieces of matches I've seen Shane actually in, it's going to be entertaining. I really haven't seen a lot of Shane's matches though. After making that comment, but for the matches I have seen, I've been into them. It was fast paced, in my opinion, bloody. Hopefully they go away from the PG match of it, and hopefully we see some gruesome stuff.
There's gonna be blood. I think there's gonna be blood.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as he goes through the top of the cage,
that's not happening.
I really don't want to see Shane hurt himself.
Right.
I want to see it happen. Shane
has the tendency to overdo it, and he is definitely up there now. He shouldn't have been doing the stuff he was doing when he was doing it 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Jumping off the Titantron and doing his coast to coast thing that he does, through garbage cans and all that shit. I think he really hurt himself, and I mean, thankfully he didn't do that shit full time, but yeah, he could very likely hurt himself, and Undertaker too. So I don't know. I don't know how crazy I want to see the match get, because I really would rather see Shane do something else valuable for the company.
We could digress a little bit with Shane McMahon, and I'm just curious. I know Jared said he hasn't really ever seen him in a match or even seen tape stuff, huh?
Couple bits and pieces. That's about it.
Okay, so not a full match. What would be your Shane McMahon match, like story with the story involved and everything. Like, what is your match?
I don't know. It's kind of difficult to say. I mean, he's had some good feuds. One of the first and still a decent one was his program that he had with Test.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember the whole thing where, like, the whole storyline was Test was trying to marry Stephanie. Shane felt that Test wasn't good enough for Stephanie. So, like, he was going to defend her, and he had the Mean Street Posse along with him and everything, and they were all going up against it. And then, like, the whole feud led to a match between Shane McMahon and Test, and then Test ended up winning it. But it was a damn good match. The Mean Street Posse was in the crowd, like, kind of, pulling their antics. I think they even had a couch out there and, like, a whole living room set out in the audience. For some reason, I don't know, but like it was a pretty good match, good story behind it. And if you haven't seen a Shane match, it starts you off good, and it was more traditional. I think it was still like some kind of like a Greenwich Street match or something like that, but it was a more traditional match. I didn't really see the one that he had with Kurt Angle, so I really can't talk about. Like I've seen clips, bits and pieces from it, but I've never really seen like the whole thing. Like I've never watched it as a whole. I'll probably go back at some point and watch it as a whole, but
and that leads me into mine because that's definitely my
Shane
favorite.
McMahon Mankind was really good.
Yep.
Was that what you were good? Is that what
Shane, Kurt Angle, and then actually Shane versus Vince for WrestleMania 17.
Really? Okay.
It was at anyways, we'll go with the Angle one first. That was at King of the Ring 2001, and the story was that Kurt Angle, because Shane just technically bought WCW, and with that, Kurt Angle was kind of like Vince's guy. So Kurt Angle had like a or I think he came out and attacked Shane or something like that, try to get in Vince's good graces. And this is when Kurt Angle's obviously heel. And he was also in the King of the Ring tournament at the same time. So he wrestled Christian in his first match. He beat Christian. Then, with the help of Shane McMahon, Shane helped Angle win, so he'd be softened up by the time he'd face Angle later on that night. Then he wrestled Edge for the King of the Ring championship, which then Edge ended up winning. And then Angle wrestled Shane McMahon about very soon after that. Well, anyway, so he had 3 matches. This was the 3rd match, and Angle, him and Shane wrestled, I think they said it was 33 minutes. But it had the first like 15 minutes was a pure wrestling match where Angle obviously dominated. There was a part where Shane actually put an ankle lock into Angle, and Shane jumped off the top ropes to Angle outside the ring. And then it finally got to the outside of the ring where Shane suplexed Angle, and Angle broke his tailbone on the suplex and didn't say anything about it. And then they got up to the front, and then Shane told Angle to throw him through the glass because that was one of their planned spots, which if you've seen SmackDown anytime during that time, it always opened up with Shane going through the glass. Well, anyways, he tries to suplex him through the glass, but Angle has no strength because his tailbone is broken, so he doesn't go through the glass. Shane
just hits it, yeah.
Shane lands on his head on the way down, and he's out. And then Angle said, let's move on. Let's do the next spot. And Shane's like, no, throw me through that fucking glass. There's actually a YouTube clip of this, the whole behind the scenes of it too. So then he suplexes him with all his might and goes through the glass. And then Angle's like, let's go on to the next spot. Shane's like, throw me through it again. And then he got thrown through it without the suplex part. And that's the one you see with the SmackDown intro. It went back into the ring. Angle starts beating Shane with a piece of wood and then puts him up on the top ropes and has to use the wood to balance himself because, like I said, his tailbone's broken. He can't balance at all if he went up on the top ropes. So he actually uses the wood to balance him. Angle slams off the wood off the thing in the middle of the ring and pins him instantly for the win. Now, the thing was, when Angle and Shane McMahon hit the ring, they were both out. And Angle said, like, if it was just a perfect landing, he doesn't even know if he would have had enough strength to crawl over there even to make a cover. So, amazing match. Might even be one of Kurt Angle's best matches, like, ever, which is saying something because he's had a lot. This is before This is really before he started having the classic matches too. This was right before that. Had a little bit of everything. It had hardcore elements. It had high spots. It had crazy spots, blood, and the other one would have been against Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 17, where Shane McMahon did the coast to coast thing, which was awesome, from one turnbuckles and drop kicked the trash can right into Vince's head.
Well, yeah, I know he's done that with Mankind also. With the match with Kurt Angle, though, I remember even listening to a podcast. I think it was JR's podcast where Shane McMahon was Kurt Angle was asked what, like, it was something phrase like, what was his most shocking, like, who was he most surprised by in the ring, like what their capabilities were, and he said Shane McMahon.
Right.
Like, he said he wasn't the most polished or anything, but like he gave it his all, and he put like more heart into it than anyone. And that says something for him. Not even really being a trained wrestler, that he's able to put on a caliber of matches that he does. So you should go back and watch some of those. They are pretty good. Like for what it's worth. Like, because like you have to go into it with like no expectations, thinking, oh, it's just Shane McMahon, and then you're like, holy shit, Shane can actually work. Like.
Another interesting one was him in the Big Show, where he jumped off that Titantron. And then he had another one where he fell off the Titantron with Steve Blackman, when he got hit with the kendo stick and just fell.
Yeah.
It kind of looked weird, but the big one was when he jumped off that Titantron, the huge-ass Raw Titantron, which would probably had to have been like 40 feet, and just did an elbow drop and somehow didn't miss the Big Show. I figured he would have missed him. Hit him with the elbow drop, obviously. Was it Last Man Standing? Was that the Last Man Standing match?
I think so.
Yeah. So
the Big Show?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain.
Yeah. Justin.
Yes.
You got a match for us?
Nope.
No Shane match?
Nope.
Nothing.
Have you seen a lot of Shane matches or not really?
I can see them. I just don't recall them. I've seen quite a few of them. I remember.
Well, I recommend you go back and watch the test one. I forget. It would have been 98 or 99.
The only Shane match that like comes to mind right now is when he fought The Rock during the Invasion angle.
That was awful.
Yeah,
that's the only one I can remember right now. But
that was not a good one at all. That was the handicap match with Booker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Booker T just got buried. That's all that was. That was a homecoming.
There were a few of them though where Shane either ended up in a handicap or one-on-one or a tag match. It just
he had a good one. I thought he had like a solid one with X-Pac too. Like a good feud. Over the European title.
I remember he was European champ for a while.
Yeah, because he won it from X-Pac, and it was from when he won the title from X-Pac. In '98. It was right before it was with the corporation, so it would have been maybe early '99.
Yeah, 98 would have been a little bit early.
Yeah,
99, yeah.
It was right when I first started watching wrestling. Shane McMahon was European champion, but he never walked out with it, and then he gave it to Mideon. That's when I first started watching.
Didn't he have something with Ken Shamrock, too?
He might have. I don't remember that one as much. I know Shamrock had like a cool feud with The Undertaker over his sister. And then also Val Venus over his sister.
That was his thing, his sister.
Speaking of which, it was Val Venus's birthday, I think, either today or yesterday. So happy birthday, Val Venus.
Yeah. Ooh.
February 99.
February?
Yeah.
Okay. That was right. Early 99.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Shane McMahon is immediately interrupted by Vince. Vince comes out to asshole chants. And Vince said, like, oh, you had that kind of going. And that died out right away. Like, they couldn't keep the asshole chant going. And then the CM Punk chants happened.
Yeah. That's one you need to explain. You loved that.
Oh, it was great because obviously they're in Chicago. The CM Punk chants start, and they don't stay very long. They stay for maybe 2 seconds?
Yeah, maybe 3-4 rounds of it. CM Punk. Yeah.
And Vince yeah, I guess you guys don't have the energy for that one either. Like just completely trashing CM Punk. And this seemed like a whole show of just trashing CM Punk. So
yeah, actually.
I like the fact that they acknowledged it. At least they didn't say his name, but they at least acknowledged it. Yeah, that was pretty. And then he pretty much said that you are nothing but my son. You're Vince's son.
Vince's son. He called Shane a failure. Said that he doesn't accept him as his son anymore. He smashed a family picture of him, like him holding Shane when he was a kid. I don't know.
Shouldn't this be more Shane versus Vince? Like this should be the match instead. Shane versus Vince.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone actually wants to see that because Shane would probably destroy it. Well, I don't know.
Right. It'd be interesting.
Freaking huge.
It'd be interesting. But, or, I don't know. It just seems weird that you're going to do Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker when you could do someone representing Shane or something like that. I know people kind of want to see Shane in the ring again. I understand that will sell. But I don't know how I feel about it. I know I said bring Kurt Angle back like 100 times, but I'm going to stay off that bandwagon today.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really a bandwagon. It's my own wagon, but that's not happening. I understand that. It could happen next week. They are in Pittsburgh. Yep. It could happen next week. They might have been saving it, but I don't know if I don't even think they would give a shit that Kurt Angle's going to be on Raw. Like, I don't think WWE gives a shit. Like, I don't know if they consider that big of a deal. Like, maybe that I would.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would be taken. I don't know. I think it would be a big thing, but not as big as you think, like you said.
Right.
Like, it would definitely be a big thing, though.
So, what do you think of this overall promo?
It was good. It was a good way to start the show. It's better than hearing Stephanie and Triple H, like, go on forever and ever and ever. So, I liked it. I was comfortable with it.
Where's your money? Oh, what's going on over there? You're getting a lot of beeping sounds going.
I don't know why it won't mute.
Robot.
We're just going to go with it's a pin dropping like the old Sprint commercials or MCI commercials or whatever.
What do you think of this whole thing, Jared?
Well, I mean, I didn't get to see it. That's the only issue. But if you guys say it was a pretty good promo, I mean, yeah, it's a good change of pace of opening up Raw. Not seeing Roman Reigns talking, Dean Ambrose talking, Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar talk, the same things that you usually see. So, I mean, it's a change of pace. Like you said, they've done the Vince disowning his son thing before.
Done it more than once.
Right, but this is like my first time seeing it.
Right.
So, I mean, it's kind of cool. Kind of sad. But then I got over it. It's kind of cool again. So, if I got to see the promo, I mean, I saw the replays.
Right, that's kind of what I was asking. Like, because they showed the replay like 100 times. So, I mean, like
the replay, I thought it was pretty good from the little bits and pieces I got to see. So I would kind of wish I was there to see it, but.
And for people at home, the reason why Jared obviously didn't see the whole show is because he worked till 8 o'clock, so he didn't really get over here to be able to watch it. And we record immediately after Raw, so we're like trying to get the first show out there. So that's the reason. It's not because he doesn't. Well, I don't know if he cares or not, but. I can't speak for him, but it's not because he doesn't care about the show or anything like that. Just there's other arrangements that sometimes happen.
I can't leave work early.
Right, exactly.
Kind of want to.
So that leads us into Kevin Owens, Adrian Neville. This was an okay match. Kevin Owens. Okay, so I'm not going to talk. We all know who wins this match.
Who won that match?
Kevin Owens.
Oh, cool.
So Sami Zayn returns. I guess that's the big news of the night, or the big news of this whole thing. And what? Are we going to get a triangle feud? Former NXT champs? Is that how they're going to book it? Or are we going to get Sami Zayn just versus Kevin Owens?
Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens.
Okay.
Neville doesn't need to be a part of it.
It looks like he's going to be, though.
I don't think so.
We'll see what happens on SmackDown. But
I think it was just by chance that he was in there.
Okay. And are they going to do this at Mania, or are they going to put it at Roadblock?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a Mania match.
Okay. You think that's the right way to go, or are you surprised they're going like that?
That's what everyone wanted. So,
I mean, why has Sami Zayn just come back just for Roadblock? I mean, there are a lot of people going to – what is Roadblock?
Roadblock is a special event that's on Saturday.
It's a combined show, too.
So is everyone going to tune in on that Saturday? Probably not. I mean, if you had that match going into Roadblock, what are you going to have Kevin Owens do as a champion at WrestleMania?
I'm just not convinced that Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens just by itself on WWE TV is enough to like, I don't know if that's a good sell. Just because I know he attacked Sami Zayn on NXT, but that was on NXT. I know that Sami Zayn wants his revenge from Owens from attacking him on NXT, but like I just said, it's NXT. It's not Monday Night Raw. The general audience doesn't know about this
like
feud from NXT.
A cheap plug-in for NXT.
Right, but they never acknowledged NXT feuds before. I don't understand why they would acknowledge this one. And it was from so long ago.
Yep, it's quite a while.
And Sami Zayn kind of got his revenge by eliminating Owens at the Royal Rumble. So I guess this is going to be a thing.
Yep.
I mean, I think Sami Zayn on the main roster isn't the wrong thing to do at all. I would have liked to seen Owens maybe have killed Zayn on WWE TV or something. At least them acknowledged it, rather than him just kind of show up twice and crowd kind of pops and then kind of doesn't. It's a good thing they did this in Chicago, because Chicago being more of a smart marquee kind of crowd, that Sami Zayn will at least get somewhat of a pop.
Yep.
But do you think this will maybe turn into a multi-man match too, like maybe a ladder match like they did last year? That's what the dirt sheets are saying.
Oh, that'll be like a big 6-man.
Yeah, maybe throw Neville in it. What did you want 2 weeks ago? What was your match? A fatal 4-way tag team ladder elimination match or whatever.
The fatal 4-way tag team ladder match for the championships. Like that, it kind of sounds like that.
And then he wanted his 3 matches. He wanted a ladder match for the U.S. title, a ladder match for the tag titles, and
not gonna happen.
And then what? Elimination, Hell in a Cell for the U.S. title, probably 6-man Hell in a Cell
at Mania.
No.
Let's say that.
I don't care.
No, I'm exaggerating.
The
a little
Intercontinental.
bit,
It was. I didn't say anything about the Intercontinental. I said for the U.S. title, I wanted to see the League of Nations, and then Sin Cara, Neville, and Kalisto in a ladder match for the belt. That would be the one I'd rather see out of any of it.
So you want the Lucha Dragons going for the tag titles, but not
No,
Kalisto going for defending his U.S. title?
I don't want the Lucha Dragons in that title in the tag match at all.
You mentioned both. We can replay it. We have it on tape.
Why do you? I don't care. Sure,
I see because what I see with the League of Nations, I see those are the only 4 that should be able to hold a championship belt on anyone there. I don't think Kalisto should have a belt right now. Those 4 there are past U.S. champions and decent ones at that. I mean,
one of them's like a 40-time WWE champion.
40?
Alberto Del Rio too.
Alberto Del Rio, I think, is 3-time, 2-time WWE, and I think 2-time World Heavyweight. Or is it 1-time WWE?
And then you got, Wade Barrett.
Has he ever had the U.S. or has he just been IC?
He was U.S. for Del Rio. He just had it.
No, Wade Barrett.
Barrett, yeah. Oh, did he have U.S.?
IC.
I know he's IC a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. A few.
I don't think he was U.S. I know Sheamus has had the U.S. title a couple of times.
I don't know if he's had the IC though. Well, it doesn't matter.
Right. And I know he's been world champion like 4 or 5 times.
Rusev's had the U.S. So for sure, Sheamus and Rusev.
And Rusev is still fairly new. He's only been there for 2 years.
For U.S.?
Yeah, has Barrett had the U.S.?
He'd be the only one if I don't see it in a second.
But I don't know. I think the League of Nations. We'll get to League of Nations a little later, but this Kevin Owens, Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn thing.
5-time international.
Honestly,
Intercontinental.
I think it's going to be some kind of 3-way, and I think they might add another former NXT guy into it too. They might call up an NXT guy. Maybe they call up Samoa Joe. What a waste that would be. I'd rather see just Samoa Joe versus Kevin Owens. We never really got that match at NXT. We kind of got it, but we didn't really get it.
Yeah.
I'd rather just see that. I think that sounds to me just kind of an awesome match.
I don't know. This just kind of shows me that through NXT, because right now the number 1 contender match is Sami Zayn versus Joe. If Zayn's going to be on the roster doing something, does that just mean that match is a throwout now?
No, because Zayn can do both shows because that's already pre-taped. That's all pre-taped already. So Raw's live. NXT's like taped 3 weeks in advance, sometimes 4 weeks in advance, and they have like with that said, Zayn could still be number one contender. He's just not going to win the belt because Finn Balor's probably going to hold that belt until like he dies. Because I mean, realistically, I don't think he's ever losing the NXT title.
Yeah, he's unbeatable.
It's not unbeatable. He's just no one gives it. He's probably the weakest NXT champ. Just who cares? Like he's definitely has lost. I feel like NXT has lost viewership since he's been NXT champ.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's true or not.
It's
but
possible.
Since it's been on the network at least, because I think Neville I thought he was a good NXT champ. Owens was awesome, and then because he always put that title over, and then Neville just doesn't give a shit.
Or
Not
even,
Neville. Balor.
Balor.
Balor. He's like Orton of NXT right now to me. Like I just don't give a shit about him. I don't give a shit about anything
I don't
he
want to
does.
see him.
Everyone wanted him to be champ.
Not me.
No, I couldn't. I liked his entrance. That was about it.
That's
I
it.
couldn't stand anything else from the guy.
I think we talked about on this very show that I didn't like that idea. I thought that
We knew it was going to happen.
right.
As we know, Corbin's probably going to get it eventually too. And
I'm okay with Corbin getting that title. As much as I hate Baron Corbin, I mean, like,
but he'll be stronger than Balor with
It's
it.
going to be a while.
Balor
before he
doesn't
gets
give
it.
a fuck because he knows he's bigger than that.
right.
So he's just kind of holding it.
And I feel like he just kind of coasts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Because he feels like he's bigger than being down there.
And they might even call up Balor just to do this match too, just to kind of get that spectacle of like this NXT, all these guys fighting for the title. I see Owens retaining, regardless of how they do it. Unless they do a one-on-one with Zayn, they might give Zayn the title.
Yeah.
Just because Zayn kind of needs his revenge. If you're booking it the way you're supposed to book it,
Yeah.
you don't bring a guy back to get revenge and then him not get it. It just because that just destroys the whole credibility of the feud. Jared?
Yeah, I mean, kind of don't want a triple threat match. I mean, if you just have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, I'd watch it. I'm a fan of both of them. I kind of like the idea of putting Finn Balor in there just because I still kind of like Finn Balor, but true to what you guys are saying, I mean, like, once he was champion, I just kind of stopped watching NXT. I did watch a couple weeks ago, but it wasn't like the newest ones that were out there.
You didn't really watch NXT anyways, right? Like you don't have the network, right?
No, but I watched a couple on like Hulu.
Right.
That's about it.
I know, like I think it might have been last year or a year before. I was like pumping the hell out of NXT.
You were like, dude, come over, watch NXT.
Right.
It was good.
I know
It was
that.
so good.
I know that because I worked with Rob before and just at like a different place where we work, and I would come into work saying like, you've got to check out NXT right now. Tyson Kidd is amazing. Like he'd always would make jokes about Tyson Kidd and all that kind of stuff, and probably not really realizing like how good he actually
was. Good. He is good.
He was, yeah, but not probably acknowledging or even knowing it because WWE never did anything with him when he was on the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
But just putting a guy down there that is, say, a veteran guy who didn't really like a Zack Ryder or whatever you're going to do, like someone that kind of needs a reboot that you don't want to give up on. We mentioned a few weeks ago, Cody Rhodes is definitely that's the spot for him to go right now, is to go down to NXT and do something down there
As Cody Rhodes.
Rhodes, and then come back up.
Yeah,
like a
that'd be
redemption,
nice to
like
see.
a redemption story. Tyson, that's what they did with Tyson Kidd. Tyson Kidd said, "I'm going down to NXT to restart my career. I've been champion before on the main roster, but I haven't done anything since. So I need to win the NXT title because the NXT title means more matches, more opportunities, a better shot up at the main roster. That's why I was going for the NXT title. And he started off kind of a baby face kind of thing, and then he turned heel eventually." Obviously, the fans helped by chanting Natty's husband just to get a rise out of him, and had some amazing matches with Adrian Neville. And people talk about how Neville, like Balor Neville matches or anything like that, but the Tyson Kidd and Adrian Neville matches, the two, one was on a normal show, another one was on the second takeover, and it blew me away. Like it was awesome. So
They were good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And I actually think the best NXT match was the Fatal 4-Way one with Tyler Breeze and Sami Zayn involved too. Tyson Kidd, Neville. It was. If you haven't seen that one, definitely I would go back and watch that. That's my favorite NXT match. Was for the title. That was awesome. I definitely recommend that one to you too. If you haven't seen it yet, Jared, I'm talking to.
And all of you out there too.
We got anyone listening, by the way?
Somebody, no one's talked yet.
Okay, cool.
Probably
Well,
Marcus.
hi. So, anyways, yeah, I guess that's. Do we have anything else to add with this?
Not really. No.
Jerry, got anything you want to add?
Not for this one.
All right. Brie Bella versus Summer Rae. This was a thing. We'll try to go over this nice and quick because we do break down the whole show. Rob, why was this a thing?
It looks like I don't think they're really trying to give Summer Rae a push as much as she just happens to be there, and it's of no consequence whether she wins or loses. So she's won another match against Brie Bella due to Lana coming out to the ring. As soon as Summer Rae got the roll up on Brie Bella, Lana went into the ring and hit the X Factor or whatever it's called. What's it called? Brie mode, or what's her finisher? She did Brie Bella's finisher, which is the X Factor, and then walked away. Nice.
I thought it was a pretty good X Factor.
Yeah, it was a good X Factor.
I thought it was. I think isn't Brie's X Factor? She does it with her knees.
I think
she
so,
goes down
yeah.
to her knees. She can't even do like the splits like Lana does. I don't know. Obviously, this is going to lead to a Lana Brie match. I don't know if it's going to be at Mania or if it's going to be like at Speed Bump or at Roadblock, Yield Sign,
Cock block.
whatever, wherever it's going to be at. Maybe it'll be at Parking Sign. Don't park here. Don't park here. Main event.
Yield to oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
That's the name of the event.
No right turn in front of a bus match.
Roundabout ahead. All right, we're getting through these signs.
Stay 200 feet back from the back of this vehicle.
Right.
Stop sign.
Caution, slow moving vehicle.
All right.
Wide load.
Construction ahead.
Yeah. I mean, we can go on for
Radar
hours. We should
area.
just go on for. I don't know. I'm kidding.
Hospital, 2.5 miles. Left turn at third stoplight.
So I think this match accomplished two things.
Emergency exits.
This match accomplished two things. It pumped the stupid show on the E Network. I'm not going to say it because I don't care. And I guess Lana kind of getting in the ring. Those are two things.
So-
That's the purpose it had.
How was Summer Rae in the match?
I honestly did not watch the match. I honestly didn't give a flying fuck about who was in the match, why it was. I fast forwarded half of it just because they pumped this stupid what's it called?
Divas.
Total Divas. Is that what it's called? They totally pumped in like Total Divas for like 4 minutes before the match.
If anyone has any questions about that, Day watches that. So
Does he really?
yeah, probably.
Probably. Paige is on
Yeah,
there.
probably. No one knows for sure, but everyone assumes he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get an Ambrose promo. Triple interrupts it, and I wrote down epic. Triple H was amazing again on the mic. Rob?
Yeah, he was. He was. He is freaking going psychotic lately. All it was about was him coming out there demanding that people respect his authority and that he'll beat the respect into you, which he did. He's starting to grow his beard out now more too, so he's looking extra crazy, and he has his fake tan. So he has the more psychotic look, and he's coming out with his suit yet. Why? Just because.
I really feel like he needs to retain at Mania.
Oh yeah,
I really
absolutely.
think he does.
I think he will. I really think he will.
I think
Who are they going to put the belt on if not him?
Reigns,
I think he's going to hold it until Rollins comes back.
I think so too. I think SummerSlam that's going to be the match. I think that's what they should do.
You know
I
what
don't.
the best part about SummerSlam is?
Here we go.
The Divas.
If you've ever played WWE 2K, that's what the King always says.
The King always says it anyway.
Right. Just he says it even like when
Yeah.
SummerSlam isn't on. Like he says it like anytime, just in normal conversation.
Oh, this is a SmackDown
Yeah.
in winter.
Yeah.
You're right.
You know what the best part of SummerSlam is? And Morrow's kind of like, what the hell? The Divas. Like, okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice route to see. Triple H retaining, waiting for Seth Rollins to come back. Because does anyone want to see Roman Reigns as champion?
No, they don't at all.
Right. I mean, if anything, if that happens, you're going to see what, Ambrose versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
Got the
which could be a good match.
versus Seth Rollins when he comes back.
Right.
But the thing is,
Pedigree versus pedigree.
and it's been interesting. The last couple of Raws, who's really in the main event here? Is it Ambrose or is it Reigns? They've been booking Triple H Reigns more, or Triple H Ambrose way more than Triple H Reigns. It's like Reigns is playing the side character again.
Or is it because Reigns had the broken nose?
He's injured.
Right.
Yeah, but that was part of the script. Like, he was supposed to get like off of TV after that beating. I mean, if it wasn't part of the script, Reigns could still be on Raw, just not doing physical
I
attacks.
think he actually had a surgery.
Yeah, he did, but I think that
Not due to that.
right, but I think he was going to be off Raw regardless if he got an injury or not. They were going to sell an injury. I honestly believe that, because if they weren't, I think he would have been on the show. Or he could be on the show even when he was hurt.
I think he's not there simply just so they can plug this roadblock bullshit.
Yeah, but this seems so like random. I honestly think this is to see if the fans react more to Ambrose over Reigns, because I think they might be thinking of just going full-fledged with Ambrose instead of Reigns. And they really should. As much as I'm not a Dean Ambrose guy, but I understand, like, it makes more sense.
Yes.
Ambrose gets more of a reaction. The fans want to cheer for him. A lot of people like him. A lot of people do. And nobody wants to see Reigns win the title.
No.
Reigns, also Ambrose makes a good underdog. And people like cheering for the underdog, just in general. I know Jared
not
does.
an underdog in the same vein as Daniel Bryan.
Right.
because
Oh,
Dean Ambrose is actually believable.
right. Fine. So Roman Reigns, sorry, dude. So Roman Reigns being booked as an underdog doesn't work. It's not believable. He's not an underdog. He should be favored in every match he's in just by the way he looks.
Except for against Brock Lesnar.
Right, and that's totally fine. And I think the fans actually respect
Everyone's
Reigns a
an
little bit.
underdog. Everyone is
Right.
an underdog going into a Brock Lesnar
Right.
match.
And just make sure you are doing this all the time.
I have been. It just keeps.
Yeah, I
dropping
understand
down.
that, but you have to continue doing it because it'll stay that for a couple of minutes, and then you got to push it back up. So just make sure that you are paying attention to Audacity, because our volume levels get fucked up if you don't. I had to do it all last week. Anyways, we're technical difficulties as always. Audacity sucks.
So, like, what? Have a match between WrestleMania. Triple H says you can have a title shot if you beat Roman Reigns in a regular match, and then Roman Reigns loses his chance to face Triple H then. And then have the main event be Dean Ambrose versus Triple H, and then have Roman Reigns beat Butthurt, and then a feud then.
I see. The thing that sucks is they kind of have it already booked out, but they can change things because they did it 2 years ago with putting Bryan in the main event. So they could do some. This is okay. Last week, this is how I said I would have booked it. First of all, this whole speed bump shit, I wouldn't even have it.
Right, because they're having a roadblock.
I would have.
Well, yeah, because they were all on the fast lane to WrestleMania.
And
They got
hit
us
by
and
a
they
roadblock.
get a
roadblock in the fast lane.
Oh, I lost
That's
IQ
bullshit.
points.
Now the next one is going to be WWE Detour, where everyone just doesn't fucking watch WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Or we detour WrestleMania to SummerSlam.
Yeah, right.
And so SummerSlam is on instead of
So you can
WrestleMania.
watch the Divas.
So they call it WWE Detour. I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
WWE Detour. And they could put it in London, France. Why not?
Oh my god! And then the ride along show on the network makes sense.
Even though London's in England, but we'll just put it in France.
I'm okay with that.
So, anyways, this is how I would have booked it. And see how you think about this. Triple H says, I agree to a world title match between me and you. And you're going to get that chance at WrestleMania, regardless. But you're still got to wrestle Brock Lesnar. because for Triple H, for him, he would do that even if, because that means a weak Dean Ambrose would be in the main event after his match with Lesnar. You could still have Lesnar win. You don't have to make it number one contender, but if he's still got to fight Lesnar regardless, and then he wrestles in the main event.
Yeah, what happened to the build between
Lesnar and Ambrose? It's put on hold right now because of his feud with Triple H.
Stupid.
I know. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's a fucking roadblock.
Huh?
It sure is to, like, what? Fucking common sense? To ratings?
I'm just curious, like, what happened? I feel like someone just, I don't really understand. And Triple H pretty much said it best tonight on Raw. That roadblock was some stupid name came up with some guy in the back.
Yeah.
Some guy in marketing who thought it was clever. He just totally trashed the idea. Like, he doesn't even want to be at Roadblock because it's a stupid name.
Well,
and it shouldn't even be happening.
It's a stupid idea if the purpose isn't to hype the matches that they've actually announced already. I mean, this would be a perfect opportunity to have Shane McMahon in a match, something that would actually kind of make sense going into the Undertaker one, be it versus Kane or anything.
Right.
You know, have him beat Kane. That way he looks legitimate going into it with the Undertaker, considering they just did their Brothers of Destruction thing or whatever. Boom. There's one that makes sense. The Ambrose Lesnar thing, I know Lesnar really wouldn't want to do a tag match, but you could either...
That would make more sense.
You could put him in a tag match like
a house show main event.
I don't know who would be someone to take with Lesnar.
Lesnar Triple H versus Reigns Ambrose.
That would be a great one. Yep. Perfect.
And it'd be interesting to see if Triple H and Lesnar could get along just because of their past. They should never get along based off their past, but right. That would be something that would make the most sense. Instead, we get this weird thing where if Ambrose wins, and what if Ambrose does win? That's the thing. Like, so you have a world champion going into WrestleMania. Are you going to have him defend it against Lesnar and Reigns and Triple H?
I'd say you could even do like,
because that's the way I would actually book it since we've already had it.
Yeah.
They booked themselves in such a shit corner that I don't really know where they're going to go with this. Because and either way they do it, it makes no sense. Because Ambrose should not be taking a loss right now because it's going to look weak against Lesnar. And what happens if Triple H does win? Is the feud over? And why does Roman Reigns not give a shit? His buddy is getting a title match before him, and Ambrose hasn't deserved it, like storyline purposes. So if you're Roman Reigns, wouldn't you be upset about that?
Yeah. This pay-per-view or whatever serves no purpose. It raises more questions than anything else. So I'm not sure what the point is. I don't get it. It gets them viewership in the short term, but it damages WrestleMania.
It really does.
So,
it makes no sense.
Because now you don't even have as much build now. Like you went from having 5 weeks, 6 weeks?
Right. Now we're going to 3 weeks.
Now down to 3 weeks. Stupid.
Right.
But whatever.
I mean, they should have just done all these matches or they should have just gotten rid of Fastlane altogether and called it WWE Dump Truck. Or we've been going on and on about the roadblock jokes, but
how is a dump truck a roadblock? Whatever.
A dump truck is a roadblock.
Well, yeah, if it breaks down, absolutely.
Or just call it WWE Kevin's Corner.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know, that's actually a perfect analogy.
Yeah. Oh boy, it is.
Are you the roadblock to the pinfall wrap up, or just a speed bump?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Or WWE pothole.
Pothole? What?
I don't know. I really don't know what the purpose of this pay-per-view is or special event.
And they're giving away WrestleMania for free.
Yeah.
By the way, I just thought I'd throw that one out there. They announced tonight that if you sign up for the WWE Network, which people just create fake email addresses and buy burner gift cards in order to do this, by the way, just throwing it out there. So you're going to get you're getting WrestleMania that you used to have to pay $90 for free if you're signing up new. Which everyone's going to do. All you have to do, if you have more than one credit card, make a fake email address attach your credit card to it, and boom, you have a brand new WWE Network account, which you'll get WrestleMania for free.
And then cancel in a month.
Actually, don't even cancel in a month. Cancel it immediately,
Oh yeah.
and you still get your month free.
We talked about
Like,
I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this because you weren't here for the last 2 shows. But what do you think about Shane McMahon, just in general? Do you think that this is kind of a one-off thing, or do you think that he's actually back and he's going to be doing stuff, or is it just he's going to be an on-screen character? Do you think he's back to like they got?
I hope so, but I don't know, and there's no way to really know.
Right.
As for what he's been doing, he's a CEO at the Chinese equivalent of Netflix. So, or he was the CEO. Apparently, the company's been struggling a little bit, and they wanted a Chinese CEO, someone who like lives in the country and who can be there full time because he still lives in America. He has a house or whatever there, but he lives in America yet, and they want someone that can be in the country full time. So he's now like their chairman of the board of directors, kind of like Vince McMahon is the CEO and the chairman at WWE, but he's just the chairman at this company, or like the vice chairman or something. So he's trying to like get himself out of like being in a leadership role at that company.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's like gonna try to get himself back in the WWE. Who knows? But
because I know you said he still owns a significant portion.
yeah, more than Stephanie.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a guy that I really think that he understands the product. He knows what to do. And according to like Russo, from listening to his show, like because he knows him on a personal level, I don't see why he would lie about that. About that, he is has a lot of respect from everyone in the back, just in general, and understands how to market and make a show. That he's ready to take it away from Vince, because Vince is just out of touch. He's completely out of touch.
Well, you want to know what's horrible about it is Vince is doing things now that he didn't even do like back when. Like, it's not that he's out of touch, that he's just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Right. Certain aspects of it, yes, but you look at it and he's doing things now that he would have never done back in the Attitude Era because they don't work. And you wonder if he's like shooting himself in the foot for like purposely, or if he's just accidentally fucking up.
I wonder if he's senile. It just doesn't really.
I don't think he's senile. I don't think he's senile. I just think he's constantly trying to do innovative stuff that isn't very innovative.
Right.
But then he's like letting other things completely go too, like having a team of like 30 writers. Well, the more writers I have, the better the product will be. Like stuff like that. You know, I think he's trying these approaches that, well, if I throw more at it, that'll be better. And if I do this will be better. And like none of it's working.
Well, it's been shown that the best that WWE was is when they only had 2 writers. When they had Russo and was it Dunn or something?
Oh, was it like Dave Lagana or something?
And Vince obviously was part of it too.
Yeah.
McMahon. And the shows ran good. They were innovating, great storytelling. They were able to make stars that weren't stars before they were there.
Well, and it's not even that as much as when you have, it's like the saying goes, you have too many cooks in the kitchen and, you know, everyone gets in everyone's way and nothing really gets done. You have 2 guys. You have all of the ideas in 2 minds. You have the communication open between 2 people instead of 30. There's no way you're ever going to have great communication between 30 people. Not as good of communication anyway as you do between 2.
Right.
So you aren't as likely to forget about characters and their storylines that they have in play and all that kind of stuff. I mean, think about the fact, look at all of the storylines that ran like concurrently to one another, where like they followed up on it week to week to week. The Godfather was doing his thing while Mark Henry was doing his thing, and Val Venus was doing his thing, and Shamrock was doing his thing, and they all like had stories that carried through week to week that were all followed up on, and there was a start, a middle, and an end to all of them. Like if they started something off, it's not like a week later it was just forgotten about and then, you know, nothing ever came of it. something it all always led up to something.
And
Everything someone was in always led up to like a pay-per-view match.
And to piggyback off that, you had Jericho was feuding with would be feuding with Benoit at the same time, feuding with China at the same time, had like multiple feuds. It wasn't just one-on-one feuds all the time. And sometimes Benoit wasn't feuding with the same guy that Jericho was feuding with. So it wasn't like a triangle feud. The Rock, for instance, he had numerous enemies. He had a feud with the Big Show and Triple H at the same time, where Big Show wasn't feuding with Triple H. He was feuding with The Rock, and Big Show was feuding with Mankind. Or Austin was more of a linear feuds, but you get what I'm saying. They had matches that you could always make for Raw, and they just don't do that anymore. I mean, I guess they're kind of doing that right now with Ambrose, and it kind of contradicts what I just said, but they're not doing it. They're not doing it good, is what I'm trying to get at, because they're ignoring Roman Reigns instead of using him part of this feud. Like, he should be a part of it.
Correct.
And a part of the story.
And that goes back into having all of those writers too. Like, you'd think almost with all those writers, no one would get forgotten about, because you have this writer who could, take charge of this guy and really put a lot of effort into making sure this guy has a consistent story. And you have this writer who could be in charge of that guy, and that guy could always have a consistent story. But instead you have just clusterfuck constantly. Roman Reigns, who's he? We're just all focused on Ambrose Triple H now. It's like they only have linear focus. They only focus on what's right in front of them. There could be anything going on. They
can't multitask.
Yeah, they can't multitask whatsoever. They can only focus on that one thing. And maybe sometimes they can do that one thing very well. A lot of times they don't.
No.
So, no.
Jerry, you got anything you want to add?
Pretty much. Rob just covered it all for me.
Oops.
That's all right.
Well, I guess we could move on. That moves us into Dolph Ziggler. He's in a Survivor Series match, except with no partners, against Sheamus, Rusev, and Barrett. And the reason that was Ziggler was talking about how he eliminated the Authority, a feud that was from 2 years ago, and most people forgotten, and including the writing staff and everyone else, and Ziggler apparently too. But
Stephanie actually said she forgot about it.
Yeah, because it was literally so long ago, and it was so irrelevant, and they totally pulled the plug on it altogether. It was a way to get a way to get Stephanie and Triple H off TV, and then they were just back because ratings started going shit again. And yeah. Anyways, I kind of thought that Ziggler was going to eliminate two guys. No, that didn't happen. Sheamus bro kicked Ziggler, and that was that.
Wade Barrett didn't do anything?
Wade Barrett got eliminated.
Aw. Man.
But happy to see Barrett in the ring.
Yeah.
So he's gone in a month and a half?
Where was Alberto Del Rio?
They gave him the night off, they said.
Why?
Because he wasn't needed to be out there, because it was 3-on-1, not a 4-on-1. So instead of watching the TV in the back, they said he could have the night off.
But they could have done something with him. He should have had some kind of altercation.
No.
You find out what happened with Del Rio? Is there something going on with that? Maybe he got hurt or something at SmackDown. That's why he wasn't there.
Or he just had the day off.
Right.
All they said was they gave him the day off because it was a 3-man.
Why not? That's storytelling, I guess. At least
that's what they said.
I feel like we should still get fantasy points because his name was at least mentioned.
Nah.
I mean, why not? And then you got we get in a women's tag match. Becky Lynch versus Naomi and Tamina. Which
really quick match. I think the match lasted all of 2.5 minutes. Sasha, did she submit Tamina?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sasha immediately submitted Tamina. Meanwhile, Ric Flair and Charlotte were at ringside as soon as Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks had their back turned. Charlotte rushed the ring and killed them both.
Nice. You should get some kill points.
Kill points. Yep. So,
So, what do you think is going to go on with Mania? I guess because obviously
For the women on that,
Yeah.
it sounds like they're doing a triple threat match. Sasha Banks,
so they announced it on
Becky Lynch,
SmackDown.
and Charlotte for the women's title. So there's really not a whole lot further they can go from there. Yeah, Warzone.
It's my life and I'm boxing front of me. Like it's all in my arms, it's the soul of me. You walk by, ask to see me make face down. By the dark, it's the fire.
All right, so that is our Warzone music. We are entering the Warzone hour where anything goes, especially those racist jokes
Yeah,
that we don't have.
means we can swear.
We
Yes,
can
even though I
swear
dropped a
more.
couple,
I
Oh,
tried
no.
censoring it. It didn't really work.
Now the filter's off. Even though now that we've been filtering ourselves, I'm operating a little bit better with the filter.
Yeah.
Like, I just naturally don't swear. So even though it's the Warzone, like, I don't know.
Just let one go right now.
Yeah, damn Jews. There we
Dude,
go.
no racist jokes!
Damn
Saying
zipper-headed
Jew is
gooks.
not a racist joke.
He's not Jew.
Right, but saying like
That's
Jew
racist.
is not. There's nothing racist about the word Jew. I guess it is kind of a little bit.
Stop! We got it.
I don't even care.
The war zone where we can swear, say weird things.
Bundling up.
Rob
it
never
ass.
says that again.
But yeah, that's the war zone.
Damn Jews. I like that one. We're good there.
It's really not even offensive anymore at this point. I mean, it's compared to like other words. I mean, that's like
What are the words?
Dago.
Dude, we said no racist comments.
I'm Italian, so it's okay. I can say that.
Oh, things I could say.
My grandfather used to call me a Dago, so it's all good. And he's more Italian than I am, so there you go. Among like asshole, dickhead, dumbass, fat fuck, big fuck, all that stuff.
Well, and the thing is,
He's a nice guy.
I'm half German, so I can approve of what you just said about the Jews.
I said I'm not even German at all, so therefore I could just say it,
I'm colored.
right?
Because, I mean, half of my people pretty much Triple H'd the shit out of the Jews in World War II. I mean,
And my people had nothing to do with it.
the Italians? Oh, yeah, they did.
Not the American Italians.
They were
though.
part of the Axis. I was going to say, they were working with my people on Triple H'ing the Jews. They were like Hitler's DX.
My
So
Wow.
they were there. It was like, let's think here. I'd say Italy was Billy Gunn. Road Dogg could have been
Who could be
Japan.
better than Billy Gunn? I mean,
Well,
come on.
Hitler
Give
was
us a little
Triple
credit.
H.
Yeah. Was he really Triple H during the DX time period?
Well, when he was starting to break away.
Right. So if we're talking about like burial Triple H would have been like after 2003.
I'd say Russia would be more like HBK
okay.
because like HBK was in DX, but then he like came back and then they
had a feud.
They had their feud and
They had a
everything. So
feud.
pretty much like, Russia and Germany started off the war like, hey, we're gonna kill everything, and then Germany was like, no, and then they invaded Russia. So what do we got?
Marcus said thank you, Jew.
Oh,
Hi,
good.
Marcus.
I don't know how we got here.
So what are we like? So is Italy more like the big show, just kind of fiddled in and then kind of fiddled out? Like it was like the muscle sometimes, but not really. I mean, what are we?
China?
Because I'm not okay with being Billy Gunn.
X
A king-
Pac? You want to be
I don't-
X Pac?
I don't want to be a King of the Ring winner that no one remembers.
But my name's Billy. It doesn't matter. No. Maybe Italy would be X Pac.
Just slowly going downhill.
Not really.
X Pac was okay. X Pac had his moments. He had more. He had He had more meaningful titles than Billy Gunn.
Okay, we'll just call
He's
the
Billy
Ken
Gunn.
Billy
Billy
title loss
Gunn.
then.
Did Billy Gunn win anything like outside of a tag title?
Well, see, Italy never won anything outside of
X-Pac at least won the light heavyweight title.
light heavyweight title.
Yeah.
What a champion title.
And he was European champion.
Yeah, he was.
So he lost to Shane McMahon, who was like Brazil.
Shane
Just throw Brazil in there.
McMahon was
Fuck
Canada.
Brazil, anyways. There. Shane McMahon's Canada.
Somewhat useful in the war, but not really.
Not really useful at all.
It's gonna.
So what's the U.S.? Like, what was Triple H's like guy he could never bury? Cena? Is the U.S. Cena?
Oh, I thought we were on Attitude Era.
Well, the Triple H burial machine didn't really start until like 2002, 2003. After Attitude.
True.
He wasn't really burying guys. He was getting his ass kicked a lot.
Billy Gunn was an Intercontinental Champion, Hardcore Champion, one-time WWE Tag.
Yeah, but that was all like after like 99, right? Like all that outside the tag titles and maybe the hardcore title.
And
'Cause he
Intercontinental is WWF.
That could have been 2001 though. No, he wasn't. He was gay in 2001, I think.
With Chuck Palumbo.
Yeah.
Chuck. Oh, that was my favorite tag team back then. It was. I
This
loved
headband
that
says
tag team.
Billy. This one says Chuck.
I looked for it. I
You
loved
can
everything
crack
about
another
that tag
racist
team.
joke. Fag. There.
That's not really racist.
I know,
It's
but it's
derogatory
racist
towards-
now. I mean,
Yeah, kids gotta be PC, bro.
I didn't
Right.
realize that was a race.
so they consider it like racist jokes. I mean, you're the king of the racist jokes. You're
I
the one
don't
who say
think
we say it
that's-
every week.
I don't say that. You guys say it every week.
No, you
I don't
said
feel. Here's the thing. Fag, I don't feel should be derogatory towards gay people.
Well, that's because it means
It should be
it's a
derogatory.
cigarette in your
no. It should be derogatory towards faggots, just not gay people, but people that are just fags,
No,
like Justin over here.
there.
So
Whoa!
blackers-
What?
South Park style.
I knew this
Yeah.
was coming.
I actually,
a fag should just be a stupid person.
I've always used the term fag or faggot in the sense of South Park. Before that episode even was there, like there are a lot of gay people I like, but then there's some that are just
Yeah.
faggots, and there's straight people who are faggots too, like Justin.
Why?
It's not
me.
You said
So
straight.
it's either
Yeah.
gay side or the
yeah, that's a good point.
or the not gay side as far
We're
as the
gonna
fag.
give him some points here. We're gonna call him a straight faggot.
Straight faggot. You're just full-blown straight
faggot.
No, but I've never referred to like a gay person as a fag ever. They're just gay. But like someone I don't like is a faggot. If he happens to be gay, well then he's just a gay faggot.
That just reminds me of 21 Jump Street. You punched me because I was gay. Punched you, and I found
But
out
the-
later
but
you
the term-
happened to be gay.
But the term faggot to me never is derogatory towards directly at gay people in general. To me, a faggot is just someone that's just a dumbass or an idiot or a pudwhack or a Justin. Just that to me is just like a faggot.
yeah.
So I'm a faggot.
Yeah, you're a faggot.
Okay.
Sometimes you're a faggot.
I don't.
like when
You're not-
you didn't want to do the
you're not
Not in
red
the gay
zone.
sense. Just
I mean, you're
in
not like a faggot that like wants to blow people or anything,
Definitely.
like blow dudes. Or you're not like a ghastly or
Rob
anything.
has
like that.
asked me like 3 times tonight, so
Yeah, and you will do it.
Because you didn't do the
I
war
will
zone
fuck you
speech.
because it's gay.
Ah, all right. So now he's on the gay side.
Yeah, well, it's fine. I mean, it's 2020.
You're getting your dick sucked. It doesn't matter who's doing it.
Don't make eye contact.
No, I mean, like it's 2020 by the time anyone
It's
listens to this.
the gay
anyway, so
one
it's all
who's
good.
fucking sucking the dick. So I'm going to make you gay. I'm going to be straight the whole time, though. I insist.
But you're wanting it. That makes you
It
gay.
doesn't matter.
I want to be pleased. What's wrong with that?
You ever seen the show Rescue Me?
No.
Yeah, you're going to have to rescue him from my dick.
Have you
because
seen
you're gonna be
Rescue-
fucking choking on it in about 3 seconds here. I'm getting mad and horned up. Get over here. Like, there's
I'll
some
record it.
simultaneous stuff going on.
Yes, Marcus. Patrick is getting roasted.
Right. So that's not what I'd call it.
Well, this is what
Getting ready.
you did this to yourself.
What did I
You're the
do?
one who says we do racist jokes. So
I don't
so,
say we do. No.
So now that when
No.
every time we were having a good show until you had to open up your fucking faggot ass mouth. Meaning, like I said, faggot just means dumbass.
Who's about to
Asshole.
suck another man's dick?
Okay.
Oh my god.
So now you're just a dick sucking faggot.
Straight, somewhat. Not after you're
So
done.
if you're listening to this,
Slightly curved.
if you're listening to this like at work right now or something like that,
I am so sorry.
and you were like on speaker, like, dude, I'm listening to this wrestling podcast, and now we're talking about sucking dicks and Justin being a faggot. But other than that, yeah, that's all I got. I mean, I really don't know where I was going to go with that.
It's just a wrestling podcast.
Well, anyway, back to the show.
Do we have to go back to the show?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Jesus God.
So that leads us into probably the match of the night. This was really, really good. Tag Team Championship. Jericho and AJ Styles versus Big E and Kofi Kingston. The New Day. Wow. That was just came off the top of my mouth. Sound kind of like Marlo there. Blah, whatever. Jared, what you think of the match? You saw it. This is when you
I
came
saw
home.
part of it.
We'll just say you saw the whole thing. No one needs to know you saw part of it.
Well, it's too
So what
late
do you
now.
think? The only matters is the last 5 minutes of the match anyways.
From the part I saw, it was pretty good. I liked it. Some really cool moves out there. I thought Big E did a wonderful job.
He was awesome.
Yeah, he was.
He was great. That was an awesome spot. Kofi was good. Jericho was really good. The only one that really wasn't that great was AJ.
AJ Styles, yeah.
He kind of was selling more than he was doing anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good match. Really good match.
Which made sense because that was his role in the match.
Right. He was the seller of the
Yeah,
match.
Jericho was like being a fucking powerhouse.
Right.
Big E was being psychotic. Kofi was doing well. Again, a little more on the selling side from Kofi, but yeah, it was a really good match. That was a pay-per-view quality match.
Yeah. A little short, but like
Yeah.
it could have been longer.
It could have been like the whole show. Just
Well,
the whole show.
I don't remember it being broken up by commercials either.
I think we had one commercial.
Did we?
break. I think we might have had one before the match
What?
started, or like right before it started. Because there was a time where they all got thrown out of the ring, and then it's like, we'll be right back after these 12 commercial breaks. So like when they came back, obviously it's when the match started picking up,
Yeah.
and it was really good.
It was a good match.
saw a code breaker.
Fucking A. Four, like,
Another one.
3 code breakers and 1 block code breaker.
Chris Jericho now is the reason why we had to change our scoring system for our beatdown system as far as our fantasy score goes. We had we had to debate what a beatdown was and what a walkaway finisher was because it's kind of the same thing. But we didn't really argue it. We just weren't really sure because it's like the NFL. You don't know what a catch is anymore. And we saw so many beatdowns tonight that we didn't know what a beatdown was anymore. So we had to change the scoring system. I thought this match was great. I liked that the New Day went over too. And I like the fact that Jericho finally turned fucking heel.
Well, that Big E won clean. Like, that was a fucking powerful finish too.
Yeah,
So,
he caught a code breaker.
yeah, he caught him in the code breaker and swung it around to a big ending. So that was kind of neat. But yeah, and then you had Jericho turn on AJ at the very end there and just code breaker after code breaker
Another
after
one.
code breaker. And then he shoved the Y2AJ shirt in AJ's mouth. So at least
You're gonna shove your dick into Justin's mouth. Perfect.
I actually just did, and he's done. You're welcome.
That's why he's not talking anymore. You got something to say?
His tonsils are actually glued to the roof of his mouth right
I
now.
had my tonsils removed when I was like 6.
You gotta fucking find it, you faggot. Someone got the keys to the compactor.
What?
Yeah.
Rest in peace. So,
Did he die?
I don't know.
Oh. Off topic.
I
There.
don't know. I really don't care.
Got shot in the eye once.
We're talking about somebody else.
That got shot in the eye once.
Yeah, and it wasn't by a pellet gun
Thank you.
or an airsoft gun or a gun. It was
Man mode.
it was a gun, all
If
right.
that's the case, I'm shot in the eye twice.
What?
I'm just gonna go ahead and take him seriously.
Yeah.
That he's been shot in the eye with a man load twice.
I don't think that's what it. No.
That's
Andrew
what
shot
I
me in the
said.
eye, and you.
Oh, you
missed
bet
my
your
mouth.
ass I did. I don't miss.
He's gonna have eye babies.
Without aiming.
Oh, he was aiming somewhere else.
Wait, are we talking about the stink eye?
I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
I'm just going to assume that Justin's pregnant.
I know he's got a lot of holes that are tough to plug.
What?
Why is it tough to plug?
Just look at it.
Is it big holes everywhere?
There's holes everywhere.
Why is it okay?
You okay, Rob?
Yeah,
Not
TV
really.
You
next
look like
to
some kind of fuck pillow.
Oh boy, I know where this is going.
me. Where is it going?
Into the fuck tent.
You want to? Okay.
There is no fuck tent here today.
Thank God.
We don't need a tent.
So,
We don't need a tent.
so Jericho turns heel, and that. All right. What do you think of the whole segment in general, and what do you think is going to go on with New Day now? Since we already know where AJ and Jericho are going.
I really don't know where they're headed with New Day.
'Cause I really thought this was going to be a WrestleMania feud, but clearly this isn't going to be one.
I mean, are the New Day heel or face?
There.
Would be-
They're
They
heel.
need
They're
to be.
definitely heel.
Are they?
They are. They
They cut a face promo.
always insult the crowd.
They didn't.
They didn't?
They cut a face promo, and they went out. Big E went over looking damn clean.
League of Nations. I think that's the next thing.
Really? They're going to continue with that?
Ah,
That's such a
dude.
dead-end fucking feud, though.
They didn't really do anything with it. They just started it and then never stopped. On SmackDown, they made fun of the League of Nations. They called them the League of Booty, but then cut a heel promo right after that.
The League of Booty. Wow.
Yeah, it's really creative. But
I like it. It's clever.
well,
kinda
yeah, it's
funny.
clever the first time you say it, but they've said it every week. And
League of Booty.
I mean, I don't know. Sheamus and Rusev versus the New Day. Maybe throw the Lucha Dragons in there and Ryback and Curtis Axel. Get Ryback back together.
He's not going to be in a tag team anymore.
That's what he said. But they could just totally
Yeah,
scrap
after
that
you
on
just called
SmackDown.
fucking Curtis Axel a piece of shit. Like,
They should just do
is that
SmackDown.
the next segment? Coming up with Ryback and
No,
Kalisto?
Kalisto and Tyler Breeze is next. But-
Okay.
I really like when you listen to the in-ring performance and what people say. Curtis Axel is the best.
And
Oh God!
well, hold on, we'll get to that because that's coming up. We don't want to give out any spoilers on like Day when it comes to like movies or just anything. He's like, "Oh, this is gonna be the part where he dies." Is that how the movie ends? Oh man!
He sounded like Bill Cosby. I'm no rape. Like,
Day 420. Movies.
So, Tyler Breeze, Kalisto. That's our next match. As far as back to the New Day, I really don't know where they're going with that.
I don't think they know where they're going with it.
I think they should fight Edge and Christian on the totally reeks. That totally. It's bad.
Imagine Christian show that totally reeks of awesomeness.
It doesn't reek of anything.
It
Why not
reeks.
bring the
period.
Hardys back?
No, it
too,
doesn't.
while you're
It's
at
just.
They've been thinking about it.
I mean, Christian said he's not officially retired yet.
because he wants one more match.
One more match for the tag team titles, and him and Lance Storm can fight the New Day.
The Un-Americans.
I'm kidding, by the way. This is not going to be a thing.
Yeah, no, this.
It'll maybe they'll face against Big Show and Kane.
Dude,
probably the best record is a tag team.
dude.
I don't know. You got something for me?
Cesaro
The
and
big
Kid.
Kane.
The Big
Kane
Kid.
show. Come on.
the big red 500-pound monster.
Joe.
Joe. Maybe Val Venus and D'Lo Brown will come back. I really don't know where they're gonna go with this.
I don't
The
know.
Thrashers, the Headbangers, maybe
Ascension.
8-Ball and Skull.
You're gonna bring back this.
That is a name drop right there. You remember those guys?
Which?
8-Ball and Skull. 90s, 98. They're a tag team. They were just look like biker dudes.
No.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Hmm.
Stone Cold beat the shit out of both of them.
No.
Patrick, what do you got? What's the fuck the New Day is gonna do? What do you want? Some triple threat tag team ladder match elimination? What do you got?
Paul
Pinfall's
London
going
and
anywhere.
Brian Kendrick.
And what?
Yes.
I'm being serious.
Or do
now.
we want Paul London and Billy Kidman?
Being serious now.
Be serious
What's your
with the
match
New
with the New
Day?
Day? What would you do with the New Day? Don't tell me the League of Nations. Give me something better. Something better that they're not going to give us. What would you do if you were in charge?
I'd be biased because I want someone from NXT.
I don't
to
care.
come up.
Who would you do? Tell me. Tell me. Right now. Give me a match. Not happening.
Vaudevillains.
Give me a match. The Vaudevillains. Why the Vaudevillains?
I don't know. I'm sick of the old talent.
But
I
why?
want them to
But,
bring somebody up.
okay, so I'm okay with the
I think
Vaudevillains.
they're the most NXT
I think it
ready
could be a
team.
good match. But why how would you book it?
How would I book
Be
it?
the booker.
Not
The
Booker.
five.
Not Booker
The
T.
five-
The
Be
five
the-
what?
Be the
The five
booker.
what? The 5-time.
5-time.
Buddy
Buddy
Bull
Bull
champion.
Fuck
Knew
yeah.
it was coming.
Okay, anyways. Get to the how would you book
I don't
it?
know. You could probably have them do some sideshow bullshit and then have their carny music hit and then be like, you don't understand what a sideshow is. That's us. And then, I don't know.
I don't think the New Day
Turn
has
it
ever
into-
called themselves a sideshow act.
That made the motion.
Yeah. They're like, we're the tag team champions, and we're also a sideshow to the main event.
I don't think I said to the main event.
But what are they too?
You know-
sideshow to what?
So-
If it's not the sideshow to the
Or
main
they
event,
could-
then anything else
Or
they're
they
sideshow
don't even have
to
to
is-
say they're a sideshow. Maybe the Vaudevillains just say your sideshow's over. It's our show's turn.
Oh, I didn't realize you took his hat.
Okay, so what?
Uh,
So the Vaudevillains, that's your match. How would you book it?
I don't know. I wish they could have had like
You begged me for a 3-chair. I'm giving you an opportunity.
Hey, who has a
So-
3-chair?
So
you, Jared.
Ah.
Did you not remember him shaking your hand earlier and saying congratulations? You have the 3-chair.
I mean, I could give you the broken chair.
that's going up his ass.
That hole's gonna be huge.
So, anyways, back to what we're talking about. All right, let's let him say something, but because he's not. But if you're in charge of the booking committee, or you're the writer, either or, and you wanted to be the Vaudevillains, how would you do it?
I don't know. Bring them up. Let them beat some tag teams. Let the New Day come out. And
You
try
have
and
3
rip them
weeks till
apart.
Mania.
The New. I don't know.
You have to announce this match soon. You can't just
Well,
announce
shit,
the
then I
day
guess it
before
looks like it's
WrestleMania.
either the Usos or the Dudleys. That's
It's not.
all
It's
I
not
see.
going to be the fucking Usos. That's done.
So, how about
Dudley's is a possibility, but not the fucking Usos. They're done.
They're done.
They job every week now. There's no way they can be credible.
Woo.
Okay, fine. Jared, New Day.
So, you had a couple stints with R-Truth and Goldust.
Okay.
Maybe because Goldust felt bad. Like, all right, let's give it a chance. Let's see what happens. Then, the New Day just makes fun of them. There's your rivalry. I mean, I don't really want to see it, but if you're not going to go with the League of Nations, obviously you're not going to go with the Usos because no one gives a fuck. The Dudleys, maybe. But, I mean, then they didn't really try that. But, that could be a possibility. But all else I can see is Goldust and
Well,
R-Truth.
they did the New Day versus Dudley feuds already, yeah. But
Right.
except this, they would reverse the roles. New Day would have to go face.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, if I was actually someone who was in charge, I would try. I don't know what would happen. But I would try to bring back Brian Kendrick, because they had a not good charisma, but they were entertaining matches. Well, by my standpoint.
But does anybody care about them?
I
That's the
care
thing.
about them.
Not just you, but does anyone out
Not
there
really.
want to see them back?
They tried to bring Brian Kendrick back on NXT.
Right.
and it went nowhere.
Right. The only person, like the only people who would really know who Brian Kendrick still is probably people who watch TNA, because he had a stint in TNA.
Yeah, he was wasn't he
the Brian Kendrick.
No, that was
still on
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Yeah,
Well,
SmackDown.
he was that in TNA as well.
Right. He was like some kind of like Buddha master or some type of.
Mhm.
Yeah, he like didn't have shoes on, and
He
would,
was
like,
really weird. On
Yeah, he
TNA.
like worshiped some type of weird like statue, toilet god or something
But,
weird like that.
I mean, if I had to go off a current roster with nothing else to do right now, R-Truth and Goldust.
so if you're R-Truth and you're okay,
That's a Mania match.
It's a pre-show match.
You're gonna put the New Day on the pre-show?
Yes. I got nowhere else to put them.
No. I would rather see my tag team ladder clusterfuck.
no, okay. I'm gonna help you with this one. So you said R-Truth Goldust.
Yeah.
I could get behind that. Now, the way that's not the team I'd go with though. But I guess the way you could do it is you put them in a random match. This would be lazy booking. You have them beat the New Day and their number one contenders.
Yeah, just have them like, all right.
Or you
let's
have-
try it.
Or you have maybe you start a number one contenders tournament with 4 teams. You have them wrestle on Raw and SmackDown, and then Raw would be your number one contenders match, and then you have 3 shows to book the match. You don't really need to book a tag team match
No.
as far as like a big feud or anything like that.
But like, that's,
But the team I would go with is actually the Dudleys, and I would have the Dudleys win the
I
tag
agree.
titles.
Agree 100%. I don't know. Well,
I
I don't know if I'd have him win it. I think I'd have it kind of maybe like a double disqualification or something like that, and then continue the feud a little bit longer. Because you would almost need to come out of the tail end of WrestleMania with something. You'd want something to continue from there because you really, I mean, okay, so the Dudleys get it. I guess you could bounce it back and forth for a little bit, but
Yeah.
I think
I'd
I'd say you'd keep it more interesting if you didn't have a decisive finish.
I'm behind that, but I just for Mania, I'd like clean finishes.
And then you could build it up to like some kind of gimmick match of, you know, this one's a tables match or this one is a whatever, you know. But
they could even do the table match for Mania. They
that
could
would
do
be a
that
good
for-
one too.
That way,
Yeah.
that way, New Day doesn't look weak if they lose a table match, and then you do a tag team match at the next pay per view or Raw. Have New Day get the titles back. Make it so the point where you actually have 2 legit tag teams that are fighting over the titles, and then you can add a third one in there that kind of wins the title, kind of like they did in the '90s with Edge, Christian, the Dudleys, the Hardys, the Acolytes, the
Yeah, it's so many strong
Right.
tag teams back. in the day.
anyone could win the tag titles at any
Ollies.
time. Yeah, and even they were kind of the weaker side of them, but they
Yeah.
could still win the tag titles and like some type of shenanigans. That's the one thing they're missing in the tag division is they're so focused on like building one team that they forget about everybody else. And so now you're in a position like right now at Mania, your money match would have been Y2AJ versus the New Day, which would have been an awesome match. But obviously they're going to go back to AJ and Jericho feud, which I think is the best move to go with. But you need to build up teams. And they think that even though they say people like to say wins and losses don't matter, but they really do. And the audience is going to get to this because WWE just does this booking style that it's so predictable booking that especially with the Dudleys, they haven't lost anything lately. So they're the next team up that would feud with the New Day. And obviously New Day would just go face.
Right.
I mean, and I would have the Dudleys win because I think the Dudleys need it. I think that establishes credibility to the tag titles. There's no shame losing the Dudleys ever. And you could have the New Day win it back. Just have it bounce back and forth for a while until you can get another tag team up and running. Maybe someone from NXT, like Justin said, the Vaudevillains.
It's not going to be anyone from NXT yet, though.
I think
Not for Mania.
No, not for Mania, but I'm talking about
Yeah,
going
forward.
going forward.
Mhm.
I think
I
after
agree.
Mania, maybe you bring the Vaudevillains
Yep.
up. Not like they did with the Ascension, but bring them up and have them feud with something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I honestly think that the League of Nations is going to do something different for Mania. I think they're either going to be the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which I actually have Sheamus winning this year. I think that the reason that is I think because they're going to kind of reward Sheamus a little bit for kind of working with Roman Reigns and really being a good transitional champion. We haven't seen a good one in a while. And getting Roman Reigns kind of over, even though it didn't work out.
Well, it didn't work out in the long run because they dropped the ball.
With Reigns.
Yeah, with Reigns. It wasn't Sheamus whatsoever.
Right.
Sheamus did what Sheamus needed to do.
Right, but he got so much heel heat as their champion. We talked about on this show that he was doing a great job as champion. He was being booked right.
In the absence of Rollins.
Right.
Yeah.
He filled that role that they needed, and I think that they'll give him a little bit of reward because that Andre the Giant Battle Royal doesn't mean anything anyways. I mean, Big Show won it last year, and nobody remembers. And before that, it was Cesaro. They did nothing with that.
Made him a Paul Heyman guy.
Right, and that lasted all but like 2 months, 3 months.
Yep.
All right, Kalisto versus Tyler Breeze. Whatever, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
really
pretty much
won.
that match. Whatever.
Kalisto won. But the real thing is the the Ryback promo.
Yeah,
In the back.
Yeah.
The raging fag in the back.
I loved the promo. Like it was what JoJo interviewing Kalisto after the match, and
Look at me. Now look at you.
Yeah.
Back at me. Now look at you. Now look how tall I am. I'm a man.
I'm not even 40, but
I don't wear a mask. Superheroes.
I don't wear a mask. He just like walks around in full wrestling gear too, which I think is amazing.
Yeah. So I
Never
think it's setting up for a Ryback heel turn. I don't know though.
I think he is heel. I just don't think that it's I don't think that he thinks it's heel.
It's a strange though. It's like a strange, condescending, depressed heel, which I like. It's a different type of heel. It's not like he's like.
Maybe he's just not smart enough to understand it.
Whatever.
No, but the character is like, to the fan, he's a heel, but to him, he thinks everything he's doing is right, and that's kind of what a true heel is. Like that Kurt Angle heel. That he's always the example I use for that because that's how he was. He didn't like go out there. This is 2005 Angle. He didn't go out there trying to piss the crowd off as a heel, but he went out there to do what was right, but you'd get booed for it because he was Kurt Angle, and he would react to it eventually and snapped on that one show. Jericho with the Shawn Michaels feud from 2008 to 2009. It was a full year feud. Jericho was not a heel, but the fact that they would cheer for Shawn Michaels, even though Shawn Michaels was doing bad things, and Jericho had enough of it and eventually turned heel from it.
Yeah.
And that's when he started wearing his man diaper. But with Ryback, it's kind of the same thing, except at a way lower scale because it's an undercard feud or undercard thing for Ryback. I think this is great for him. I think that he has a solid personality to pull this off. I think he's been getting better in the ring. Honestly, I think he's been getting very solid.
No, he's not bad.
Very, very underrated. And I know we trashed Ryback probably like 3 months ago.
Yeah, until Justin said he loved Goldberg.
Right.
And that made everything better. But yeah,
right.
So.
And the crowd that chants Goldberg at him now, like, that's done. Like, he's not Goldberg. He's not being booked like Goldberg. That was so 3 years ago now at this point. Get over it. But yeah, I think that this is a chance for Ryback to really do something, and we'll see what happens. I mean, the guy looks credible enough to hold any belt. Just can his personality continue?
Yeah, it's so hard to say, like this guy's not a face. This guy isn't meant to be a face. This guy isn't meant to be a face. But so much of their roster is not meant to be a face.
Right.
And like the only ones that should be faces are like your comic relief guys, like the Social Outcasts or Cody Rhodes as Stardust or Goldust or R-Truth. The guys that can't be taken seriously should be your faces. Everyone else pretty much falls perfectly into a heel role.
Well, we talked about
Ambrose, but
Dean Ambrose was a great heel when he was in the Shield.
Right, but as a face, it still kind of works.
But it goes to the next question. What is a heel and what is a face? In wrestling terms, obviously, a heel is someone that purposely goes out there to piss off the crowd, cheats, that kind of stuff. The heels don't really do that. And I know that kind of what JR says, but that's the one thing I do agree with him on. The babyface obviously never cheats, does any of that stuff. That's what a babyface is supposed to be. But in today's wrestling, and that's why wrestling sucks, because that's the way they book it still. In the late 90s, they didn't do that. Everyone could be classified as a heel. The good guys would cheat. Sometimes they would, sometimes they wouldn't. The Rock actually, do you remember they had a cage match with Triple H on Raw? And Triple H won the match, but because the referee was down, The Rock actually grabbed Triple H, threw him back in the ring, rock bottomed him, and he left the cage, and the referee got back up, and then The Rock won. And stuff like that. Like, that was totally a heel move, but the fans absolutely loved it. Stone Cold Steve Austin dick punching Mr. McMahon, or dick tapping him. That's something you shouldn't do. You should get booed for stuff like that. That's a heel thing, but the fans loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really realistically is how people should all be booked. Not everyone should be booked like Stone Cold, but they really shouldn't have heels and faces. Like
Not
straight
in the traditional
heels.
sense, yeah.
Right. It should just be like you should be able to book anybody against anybody at any time. And some guy can play, like you can have your straight heels and then have more of the guys that can kind of, I hate using the word tweener because then you're a Big Show and Kane, but like they just won't go away. You get to the other realm. Like your Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose isn't really a babyface. He gets babyface reaction, but he doesn't act like it.
True.
And that's why the fans like him. Where Roman Reigns is just a complete pudwhack.
Yep.
Derp. And that's why the fans boo him.
Yeah. And made a sign that said derp. Yeah.
So this leads us into Ryback versus Curtis Axel. And once again, back to Ryback. We get the Ryback knees to the face, CM Punk move. And then the crowd starts chanting CM Punk a little bit, and then Ryback goes like this.
Yeah,
with the arms go to sleep. The go to sleep thing. I love it. I love absolutely every part of it. I think I rewound it like 4 or 5 times. Yep. I had to see it like 3 or 4 times. This was awesome. Now you can talk about Curtis Axel.
Oh, it's past that. I mean, I already said my one line. That was about all I was going to say.
Yee.
Well, anyways, they had the Social Outcasts had a thing before, and what did he say? Curtis Axel went like
I'm an axe man.
An axe man, and they were like, yeah,
yeah, yay.
yeah. Like some kind of, that's like not a sound an axe makes at all. And then Bo Dallas like bailed him out, and he did it too, and then the rest of them did it.
Everyone else, and then they ran around in a circle for a bit.
Yeah. Did I get a bow train? I didn't see one.
No, you didn't get a
no
bow
bow train. I am all about that bow train.
Is it the hoe train? But
no, he's like bow train, and they all just like literally jog around the ring.
Oh,
They're like their own little train.
I thought he was like doing Godfather's finish.
No, it's not a move. It's just him running around. Remember how he would run around the ring with his hands up like this? Like that jog around the ring when he was Bo Dallas. Now they call it a bow train because there's more than them. They all do it.
Okay. I was really hoping
it's like the greatest thing ever.
I was really hoping he picked up the Godfather's finish.
Like mid-match, whoever is on their team will join the bow train, and they will run one side and come back.
What did you think of this whole ordeal, Rob?
It was what it was. Go Social Outcasts. Yeah, I really have no opinion of it whatsoever.
Okay.
We knew going into it that Ryback was going to get the victory on it. The Social Outcasts, they're goofy, they're entertaining. I like them. Really, besides that, it wasn't like a good match or anything per se. I mean, I don't know.
Jared?
It was a quick match.
Quick.
Like Rob said, we all knew it was like Social Outcasts. They sometimes win, but if you're gonna have, it looks like they're pushing Ryback. You knew Ryback was gonna win. I mean, the match itself was kind of funny. You heard Curtis Axel say some weird stuff.
Yee!
That, and then just screaming during the match during close up on the camera. You saw a little thing with the CM Punk thing, but other than that, it was run of the mill jobber match kind of thing.
What also I liked is Ryback's entrance. He didn't do the feed me more thing either.
Yeah.
It looked like he was about to, and then he didn't. And the camera even zoomed in on him, like they're ready for him to raise the eyes, and he didn't raise it. He just walked out. Kudos, Ryback.
Just not giving a fuck.
They do need to change his theme, his beginning theme. They got to get rid of the feed me more thing.
They do.
And then just go straight to it or go back to the Ryback theme. I like that thing. Makes no sense, but why not? I really think he should come out to Cult of Personality, or at least the Kill Switch Engagement.
Yeah.
He should come out to Punk's theme.
Just be in the
And
CM
he should be like,
Ryback.
CM Ryback, yeah.
It's clobbering time, and they should trip down the ring.
Like it's feeding time. Just
It's feeding
just
time.
change a little bit of it. You're
Yeah.
like,
Feeding time.
like, come on.
He
Yeah.
should go full like CM Punk douchebag mode. He
Start
should get
wrapping up
he
his
should have a
arms.
fucking Pepsi tattoo on his arm too.
No, not a tattoo, a sticker.
A sticker.
Yes.
A Pepsi sticker. He should come out drinking a Pepsi too.
And instead of like the arm wraps, you should just have like duct tape or something.
Yeah. And he's not a vegetarian, he's a meatitarian. A carnivore.
You know how they have the kicking
Really?
boots for like them? You should wear those and they just never kick.
he should
Just be a
Kick pads.
really big version of CM Punk.
he should just come out just eating pure steak. Like just gnawing on steak.
No, just come out with a hot dog each week, just take one bite and throw it.
Well, no, that's something that Kevin Owens would do, but like come out with like a full steak.
We'll let it
Like not even
steak dinner on it.
not even cooked. Just straight like from the package. Caveman style.
Protein, what a meathead.
Yeah. Doesn't even open the package. Eats the package.
Sir
with it.
Fulham, cellophane and all. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Probably not get sick off of that, but yeah, let's
He
do
can
it.
start his own little straight edge society, except they all eat meat
No,
and they all get drunk.
he'll start it.
So Ric Flair runs this along with Scott Hall, and then
Jesus.
Ryback. You can start the NWO all over again, except with no one from the NWO except Scott Hall. I'm pretty sure he'll die.
Put Jeff Hardy in there, use some drugs. No big deal.
I mean, they can't really use Scott Hall. He's dead anyways.
Right.
This leads us into the main event, Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. I thought this was actually a pretty good match.
It was solid.
I thought that Wyatt looked good in it. Ambrose looked good in it.
Yeah.
There was an awesome spot where Ambrose went for that stupid clothesline, and then Wyatt clotheslined him instead.
No, clothesline the shit out of him.
It was awesome.
Like, why didn't he even turn around? You just knew it happened.
Yeah,
I think this was definitely one of Wyatt's better matches.
in a while, yeah.
Yeah, like, no offense to him, but his matches lately, even the Wyatt family was a little stale. So having him come out by himself was a little bit better. And he performed really well. I liked it.
What do you do with Bray Wyatt for WrestleMania? Because you got to do something with him. You can't just have him off the show. And I don't know if you can just throw him in the Battle Royal.
I don't know. I really don't know. Kane.
Yeah.
He's fought Kane like 100 times.
Make it one.
The
more
Undertaker
match.
All I
again?
have to do is just build it as like the Battle of the Behemoths.
What if the
Clash
Undertaker?
of the Titans.
What if Undertaker's fighting Shane, and the lights go out, and the Wyatt family shows up and beats up the Undertaker, and Shane gets the win, and then we continue the Undertaker Bray Wyatt feud.
I'd like it.
And then Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
No, and then Bray Wyatt, we get more power with Shane. And have Bray Wyatt saying that Shane's just a puppet. I'm the one running the show.
The Rock.
No.
The Rock will be like, I'm clinking and banging and clinking and banging and clinking and cranking and grinding, or
Doesn't
whatever
he have
the-
like a show to do, a movie or something?
I don't know. He's supposed to be at WrestleMania.
Why?
Clearly, he's not wrestling.
Why is he going to be there?
I don't know. Probably to promote WrestleMania, even though
Probably got a movie coming out soon or something.
He always
Fast
has a movie coming out.
yeah, he doesn't usually promote it when he's on Raw. They
No.
promote it. He doesn't. He said he'll never do that again when his 2011 promo. Oh, you remember when he came back in 2011 and said he's never going to leave
I'm
again?
back forever.
And then he
permanently.
didn't show back up until like another 4 months.
Yep.
That was great.
I saw the humor in it.
I thought it was awesome. I was a little butthurt about it, not going to lie. I actually have a video on our YouTube channel that my reaction to The Rock and how I was looking forward to all these feuds he was going to do because I bought into it. I thought he was back. Boy, was I fucking stupid.
I think your best video on YouTube is when you did all the entrances. And then during one entrance, you just slammed in the door.
Oh, the Cena impersonation?
Yeah. You're doing all the different entrances, then BAM! That was great. Check them out on YouTube.
Yeah, it's under Pinfall Wrap Up, WWE Themes. There's 2 volumes to it.
Just put the link in the description.
You can do that. But yeah, that was definitely that was kind of fun.
Those are the best.
That was when I was like, I think 18 or 19 years old. I did those videos with a webcam actually.
Nice.
Then I was too cheap to afford a camera. This is back for cell phones. They had video cameras too. They had them, but I didn't have one.
Mark is still listening?
Potentially. I don't know.
Does it say viewer?
It says there's 2.
2. We got 2. We got a
Hey!
second
I count
one.
as 1.
Oh.
Shouldn't have said that.
So, anyways, the Wyatts show up and beat up on Ambrose. Then Triple H comes out and was about to beat on Ambrose, and then got
He
double
flipped
arm
the table.
He did flip the table. He was losing his game of chess, so he flipped the table.
Yeah.
Flipped the board, and then went back into the ring and got double arm DDT. I'm not calling it the Dirty Deeds.
Dirty Deeds.
Not happening. What do you think of the whole thing as a whole?
It's good. I like the little interaction that Triple H and Bray Wyatt had also.
Oh, yeah, that was really good.
Right after the Wyatt family came out and all of them beat the shit out of Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose kind of laying in the ring. Triple H came down and Triple H came in the ring, and before he got started on Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt kind of confronted him and kind of stood there and stared him down, got right in his face, and then played with the belt a little bit.
That might have been the best thing of the whole night. Like,
Yeah.
That was actually really well done.
pretty much gave him a warning. Like, yeah, I like that belt you got there.
Like, yeah,
And
I'll
then-
let you interrupt me this one time, but don't do it again. And then he told his guys to leave. He didn't actually say anything, but that was the look I got.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will come. I don't care if you're Vince, or I don't care if you're Vince. I don't care if you're Triple H. You have something I want.
Yeah.
And it's nice that Bray Wyatt, for the first time since he's been there, has kind of like looked at a title and wanted a title.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Hopefully it builds into something.
it won't. But it won't at all. They won't even acknowledge it, and it'll never happen again.
They did the same thing on NXT for the Women's Championship.
Who fucking cares?
Bray
I'd
Wyatt
say-
won the
No.
Bray
They
Wyatt
had a contender
and Triple
come
H
out.
was fighting over the women's title. On
They had a
NXT.
contender come out after a beatdown, look at the champion, brush off the belt, and just leave. It's the same thing.
No, it's not. This is a little different because first of all, that will become something. This won't.
This won't.
Right. That was actually something that was in the script. I think Wyatt might have kind of acted on his own. I feel like that whole thing was almost improv.
Yep.
I think Triple H just kind of came down and just stood there, and Wyatt just kind of got in his face, kind of thing. And Triple H was probably loving it. Like this is the guy, because he's trying to like. I think that the conception of Bray Wyatt in general is he's gonna be around for a while, but they have to do something with him just in general.
You need to have him keep winning.
He can keep winning, but he can't just be winning bullshit feuds like against I don't even know, Ryback. Like that's the last feud he's won. So I mean, like he needs to, and that was such a dumb feud. His feud with Roman Reigns actually was pretty good, even though it started off like it was going to be cool, and then it kind of got stale, and then it ended pretty good. Like that was actually one of the better things they did.
Yeah.
Like I said, when you have like almost a 6-month feud, when you have a 6-month feud, you're going to have dead spots, and it's not going to be all cool. Writers are going to run out of ideas after a while.
That's why Vince has 30 of them.
Yep. Never can run out of ideas.
Right.
Different idea every day.
But yeah, that's Raw in a nutshell. We broke it down, Jared. What'd you think of the show?
For the part that I saw, obviously you guys said that the first part was a little boring. The second half I thought was pretty good.
See, I thought the first part started off strong and then it kind of got.
Well, yeah, like the talking, but like
Yeah.
the matches didn't seem very entertaining. But I don't know. I was sold on the the tag team match. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then the Big E match was pretty good with Kofi. Both the tag team ones were pretty good. I didn't like how Dean Ambrose kind of gave him the double arm DDT, but okay.
Yeah, I guess they have to because they can't have Triple H beat him up again.
Why not?
Because he's gonna retain the title. I
Just
don't
have
think
him
he's
whoop his
losing the
ass.
title. So if he's retaining the title, Dean Ambrose has to have some kind of comeuppance of him.
Yeah.
I guess that's Raw. Are we doing Raw?
I think so.
All right. Well, we usually do this every week. We go right into Kevin's Corner, and we got you a new theme this week.
Fantastic. Is it a Dick song?
Yes.
Great.
Oh,
Cause you're looking at yourself. Don't worry about it, you look fine. How'd you get your ass so tight? You can't get laid, you're on fire. In January, you got a chance. I gotta hand it to you, man. You're the bullet of the ball, trying to stand tall, thinking you can take them all. Sorry about your penis. Sorry about your penis. Sorry about your penis. Cause you're looking at yourself. I bet you got overhead cams. Personalized split and all. Your truck's probably 10 feet tall. Bet you say to the lot. I bet you don't do it at all. You try to get it up, might as well it up, thinking you can take them all. Sorry about your penis. Sorry about your penis. Sorry about your penis. Sorry, so sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You don't get it, you never will. Fuck with that macho overkill. Seeing everything else if it wasn't sport. All you end up is the kids of wars. Cookie cutter man, all you live alive. Drink about, take about 555. More than an ounce, got a 10-man cheese. Don't be gay, please. Sorry about your penis. 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 Sorry about your penis.
Okay, well, I don't know what that's referring to. I don't know what you know about my dick that I don't, but this is Kevin's Corner. And do you want to break down NXT? Because NXT was great. Very much so.
January, you got a chance. I gotta hand it to you, man. Never gonna lose all. You're trying to stand tall. Maybe you can take them all. Sorry about your penis. Sorry about your penis. Sorry about your penis. Because you're looking at yourself. But you got overhead cams. First my space and all. You try to pop a 10 feet tall. But you say do a lot. But you don't do it at all. Can't get laid. Nah. My girl fucking did it all. Wow. Sorry about your penis. Sorry about your penis. Sorry about your penis. I'm sorry, so sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Sorry about your penis. You don't get it, you never will. From with a match, I won't kill. Seen everything else was a sport. All you end up with the case wars. Clean cut a man on the whole little line. Drink about 555. Full of man ass, bad cheese. Drop me a, please. Sorry about your penis. 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 Paul smoking, man. Paul, you were fucking smoking in there.
What?
Apparently, Andrew, sorry about your penis.
I am a little sorry.
What happened to my penis?
I don't know.
You lost its virginity.
Nope, that's still intact, sadly.
Meh. Shit happens.
Buy a hooker.
You could.
Good. Got a number for me?
All right.
You don't want to do that.
No, I really don't.
But you're going to. Anyway.
That's
Oh, Kevin's Corner.
You saw nothing?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, great.
I don't even have W Network right now.
Okay. Well, I'm alone and scared and probably going to get buried by the other Well, 2 that are paying attention at this table. So, yeah. So, show opened with the Vaudevillains, who I thought should be on the roster. Got buried by you instantaneously when I thought something, so didn't really matter. They faced some jobbers named Tucker Knight and Hugo Knox. Corey Graves likes them. Then again, Corey Graves likes everybody that's wrong. Match was okay. Tucker Knight was in for about 7 seconds, and I got hit with a whirling dervish. I feel like that's a pattern that happens with the Vaudevillains now. They'll beat on one guy, and then a guy will escape a move, and then the second guy comes in and just gets hit with a finisher, and it's over.
Yep.
It's, I don't know. Thinking about it, it doesn't look like they're going to get a build anywhere for anything, just because that's how their matches go. Unless they change that, I don't see them coming up anytime soon. Did you hear anything I just said?
Some about your penis.
No, that's not.
Okay.
That was the song.
There was some WWE news that I was being told something about a bunch of people came out to the ring after the show.
Oh, yeah. WrestleMania's in Orlando next year.
Is The Rock going to get a title shot?
It just came up on Twitter, by the way, as we were doing the show. WWE announced it.
They're that close to Miami. Is The Rock going to get a title shot?
Who cares? No. Maybe. He already wrestled once in Florida.
So it'll be outdoor again.
So apparently, with the after Raw went off the air, Sin Cara and Kalisto were out there. Wyatt family was killing them. Apparently, the Dudley Boys came out there and joined in. Apparently, Goldust did a cartwheel, and Roman Reigns showed up. And Jack Swagger.
That's cool. Let's bring Roman Reigns back when they're not on TV.
And Jack Swagger.
Yep. And so
Jack Swagger's been out longer than Roman Reigns.
Oh, and the Usos. But it looked like the whole crowd was chanting pizza.
He was number one. He won a match with Mark Henry, his new tag partner, to get into the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Goldust.
On the pre-show. Yeah, that's true.
The All-American World's Strongest Man.
The erect sponge cake, Mark Henry.
Jesus.
Okay.
Right.
On the Kevin's Corner.
So, I'm happy to inform you that the Reindeer team actually have a real name, so you don't have to get their names confused anymore.
He still is.
I'm still going to get their names confused.
Their team name is called the Revival because they're reviving the tag team division.
Oh, do they have 1,500 attack points?
They're not Revival Jam. They're just Revival.
Oh.
And they will face Enzo and Cass at Roadblock for the NXT Tag Team Championships.
Someone comment there? We got a comment?
No.
Mark is still listening?
He is. He's playing GTA.
Ooh, nice.
Nice. So, yeah. Evidently, NXT is invading.
Do you like the penis song?
He hasn't commented in like 15 minutes.
Comment, Marcus.
We miss you. Sorry about your penis.
Marcus, I don't know what happened to your dick either. So, yeah, this show sucks.
Sometimes it just gets really sweaty and stinky. So, I'm just apologizing for anyone that has happened that to. Sorry. Sorry about your penis.
Okay.
My condolences.
Okay. Well, that song is more entertaining than the next match between Emma and Santana Garrett.
That song is super entertaining, more than this entire fucking show.
I wasn't entertained
It's the
until
greatest-
you started like
It is
growling the
greatest-
song at me.
It is the greatest fucking song I've ever heard.
Is it?
It's better than anything Soilwork puts
It's
out.
totally ridiculous.
It's better than anything Soilwork puts out.
Yes.
I want that on record. Anyway,
Let's go.
let's go where?
I don't know.
You hungry? You want to go get food or something?
I am kind of hungry, but go ahead.
Anyway, so Emma wins via whatever the Emma lock is.
What is the Emma lock?
And she like stomps on the center of their back, locks her leg up like AJ does.
Was
with
that like a reverse crossface? Like upside down crossface? Yeah.
the
that's
bridge
pretty-
crossface?
That's a pretty good move.
I kind of like it.
It's a good move.
But yeah, Emma wins there. Most exciting thing I think in the WWE all week, Austin Aries debuted on NXT.
Yeah, and he got attacked by Baron Corbin.
He got
right?
destroyed by Baron Corbin.
I saw that on
6
social
seconds
media.
of Aries walking down to the ring. Corbin grabs him from behind, throws him against the ring, tears his shirt off, and then hits him with probably the best end of days I've ever seen.
It was awesome.
He rocked him almost all the way back and then dropped him on his face. It was nice.
Yeah, check that part out.
And then
That's pretty cool.
And then he tore his
It
shirt
was.
off his chest and threw it at Regal and yelled an eye for an eye because he didn't put him in the number one contender match.
No, for no.
Yeah,
Then he ripped out Austin Aries' eye and threw it at William Regal.
yeah, that's
And then he decided to rip out his heart. And he's like, heart for a heart. And he threw that at William Regal. Then he tore his head off.
and then he tore his dick off and threw it at him and said sorry about his
he had
penis.
he had for a head.
And in other news, Austin
So
Aries
Baron Corbin is now a psychopath.
and a murderer.
That's fine.
So
That's okay. It's all part of the show.
That's why they call him
It's
the
a-
lone wolf.
gimmick.
That's why he's the lone wolf. He eats his prey.
He has to hunt his prey.
Literally hunts his prey.
Yeah. So, and then
You should
Elias
actually join up with the NWO Wolfpack. And then Rob Thomas, so he doesn't have to be lonely no more.
Wolfpack's back. Yeah.
And they come out to the Lonely No More song from Rob Thomas. I like it. I like that song.
Lonely
good
no
song.
more.
Yeah, where he's like, I wanna be lonely no more.
I hate that song. Is that the one where he wants to pay his rent too?
Chris is here,
Hi, Chris.
Chris, I love you.
and Marcus says, "I am alive, Jared. Miss ya."
Yes. 2 for 2.
So yeah, then Elias Sampson gets a match, and he doesn't have a real finisher, so he ends matches on neck breakers and Shawn Michaels elbows. I don't know why they want to push this guy, what he's about, but like he faced some jobber named Steve Cutler.
Oh yeah, Steve Cutler, who's not related to Jay Cutler. They used to say that all the time. He's like their enhancement talent they use all the time.
Yeah, whatever. This sucked up until this point. Neville versus Finn Balor.
Wolfpack is back cause I'm mass destruction. Guess who see it? The bad boys of wrestling. Just a competition, win the war, that's their mission. Not no mercy, see the race like the street. If you don't know, you better find out the Wolfpack. Here to prove a point, number one, best believe that you don't want to diss with them. I'll be there for them, coming to rave with them, you're never walking out again. Until you're back on the Wolfpack. Turn your back on the Wolfpack.
Okay,
I had to get that out of there.
so this was
I just
actually
talk about the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
I had to play the theme.
So this is actually a decent match between Neville and Finn Balor. I mean, back and forth all the way. And then Neville like stops moving in the middle of the ring, and Balor hits that sling blade move that he does. Neville legitimately runs 3 steps and stops and waits for Balor to sprint out of the corner at him. It just looked really, really bad. He hit the coup de grace and then hit a brainbuster suplex, which is apparently going to be his new finisher, and pins Neville to win. Then Neville shakes his
Dangerous
hand.
move.
It is. Picks him straight up and almost drops him
Yep.
down. It's nice.
Yeah.
I like it, though. It's better than a damn double stomp.
Yeah.
Anything is at this point.
Especially when you see Del Rio's, that's so much better.
Is it better, though?
Yeah, because it looks like you can fucking kill him every time. I'd be scared of that move. The coup de grace is whatever. Del Rio's looks like it's going to fucking kill you. Every time he does the move, it looks like it's a botch.
The
And it
619
looks like the
actually
person took
kills people too.
The 619 does kill people. It's probably something about Mexicans and killing and stuff. Look at the border. But, like...
JBL's got that under wraps.
JBL's taking it. He's trying to fix that for us. But no, every time Del Rio does it, it looks like it's a botch, and it looks like he might have killed whoever he did it to. And then you're like, oh wait, he did the move right. That's just a brutal looking move. So Every time I see it, I think
Every time you think someone dies
I
in the ring.
think he killed someone every time he does it.
Is that it for NXT?
No, there's actually a pretty good promo between Joe and Zayn to end the show.
Yeah.
Zayn basically said that Joe's ungrateful because he's been handed everything since he's been here and still wants more. Joe says, funny because I saved your ass and your career when I first appeared here. And then
Yeah, it's true.
And then
The storyline continuity.
nothing happened. Like, that was it right there.
We'll build to it.
But no, like, you'd think they'd fight. They were face-to-face saying this in an interview with
Because it's the tension. You can't just give it away. You have to, like, build towards them fighting.
That's right, Justin. You can't just give it away. Don't hire a prostitute.
Right. Sorry about your penis.
Well, that's what she's going to say. That's especially why you don't want to just give it away.
No, that's what you're going to say when they pick up the STD from the prostitute.
Wait, what?
What? Not all prostitutes have an STD.
I'm going to go ahead and say 90%.
How would you know?
I
Huh?
don't.
Sleep with 100, and then if 90 of them give you a fucking STD, I guess you know. All right.
Science experiment for the next episode. Back to you, Andrew.
A couple of things in wrestling news. Big Boss Man's being inducted in the Hall of Fame. What do you think of that, Rob? He's your guy, right?
I like the Big Boss Man, but late Big Boss Man. Not like late like dead, but late as in he's dead, by the way. But like
2004.
Yeah, like late 90s, early 2000s Big Boss Man.
He was hung by The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell. Well, that actually happened, but that didn't kill him because after that he killed Big Show's dad. But
the Big Boss Man is in one of my favorite freaking segments of all time, where he dragged the Big Show's dad around in the coffin at the funeral. Well, no. Is Big Show's dad's funeral, coffin sitting there, Big Boss Man pulls up in like a fucking 40-year-old cop cruiser with a megaphone on the top of it, and chains up the Big Show's dad's coffin and drags it around the cemetery. Like the Big Show's trying to catch the coffin and he's like stumbling over and shit. Fucking amazing. Like in such bad taste too. So
you turn it off for. And you're not paying attention to this again.
I really am. I've touched it like 33.
Accountability.
Touched my penis.
he's touched it 33 times. Great. Good. Well,
I definitely am paying attention.
I'm sorry to all the fucking kids that are listening to this because that is horrible. Why are you touching your dick, faggot? Anyway.
Chris said woo, responding to you saying hi, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for showing up and
Fucking
listening to the
last 20
show.
minutes of the show.
Yeah.
Chris gonna say I love you back. Rude.
Anything else? John Cena gonna come back by Mania?
No.
Think he'll be even on Raw or anything leading
No.
up to it? I don't think so either. All right, I guess that's really it for the show.
The thing on your fridge behind you.
Oh my lordy pants!
Oh my no! Wow! See, and you don't want to watch that Chris Lee Knows Best. Really? You're gonna throw mine out there like that? You don't know you're gonna watch it. You don't want to watch it? Oh my lordy pants!
How's my lordy pants?
Those are cooter cutters if I ever seen them.
You just took like a weird Chris Rock turn.
Whatever. Fuck Chris Rock.
So, anyways, Rob, you want to go over our fantasy results for
Can you see
Monday
that
Night Raw?
from
I'll give you the paperwork for SmackDown too.
Yeah, I might as well look at the paperwork on that. Can I what?
You see that far, Grandpa?
I have contacts in.
Okay.
I can see everything.
I had some on my phone.
Yeah, my vision's actually pretty
Lordy
good.
pants!
I
Yarr!
can't see any.
You can't see anything.
Lucky if me come deck.
Come back.
Oh.
All right. So SmackDown, the scores were me and Andrew minus 14, Jared and Jesse positive 4,
What? Nice.
Data and Justin minus 14. So Jared and Jesse were the big winners from SmackDown, and then other two teams tied
Let's
at
go,
minus 14
casual fans.
for failing. And then tonight we got me and Andrew at is that
32.
32.
Look to your right.
Now look back to your paper.
And then look to your-
right again.
Oh yeah, good point.
And-
Jared and Jesse at 28, and then Dady and Justin at -10. So scoring as it stands is where Andrew and I are at 249.
Yeah.
Jared and Jesse would be in last place with 166, and in the
Yeah.
middle we have Dady and Justin at 172. So not really much of a gap between Justin and Dady, or Justin and Dady.
Yeah, there isn't.
Not
a
much of a
big
gap between Justin, Dady, that team, and then Jared and Jesse.
The good team.
So I guess they're just pretty much fighting for second at this point because first is pretty much
I think Jesse's
in the
just
bank.
fighting. That would be
in the bank.
And with that, I guess we can go into our moves.
Yeah. So lowest score always gets first move. So a move is dropping someone, not dropping and picking up. So you take one move to drop, one
And it's
move
by
to pick
total
up.
score, not by raw score.
Okay.
So total score.
So at that point, yet we have 166 with Jared and Jesse. So they get first pick
Who are we dropping?
or first move.
I guess Jesse wants to drop Devon.
We have the
yeah, I mean, I can write it all down.
Okay.
I kind of have an idea what we're
Okay.
doing.
So Devon is dropped from that team. Second would be
Day, Justin.
the
You guys
big
make a
guy.
move?
Nah.
No move.
No move from you sure?
Yeah.
Nothing?
Yep.
Okay. You okay dropping Eric Rowan?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with Eric Rowan.
We're gonna drop Eric Rowan.
Cool. All right. Move goes to Jared.
Who are we picking up?
Sami Zayn.
That guy. You guys are picking
Sami
up
Zayn
Zayn gets picked up.
All right. So Sami Zayn is now part of their team.
How do you feel about Goldust?
I'm fine with it. It's
Okay.
gonna go. It's gonna go somewhere. So
That's all we chose our truth.
Yay! All right, we're gonna pick up Goldust for Eric Rowan.
I think it's a fair move.
You guys make another move?
We making another move? Nah, we're staying.
Sure you don't want to get rid of Luke Harper?
Nah,
No.
we didn't think that far ahead.
Anyone else you want to drop?
There's
Don't-
nobody else to pick up.
Fucking Del Rio, huh?
Yeah, but
Pisses me off. But then he's like on.
he was
So,
on SmackDown.
Yeah, I know.
Should drop him.
No.
Yeah, drop him.
Strowman's kind of a fuck too.
Yeah, Strowman. I think Strowman is a guy we might want to hang on to still. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he'd be the next guy to go, but I have
Yeah.
a feeling that, I mean, really, realistically, we'd be dropping him to pick up Devon. I don't know if that's a route you kind of want to go with.
You gotta wake up or run.
Yeah. By the way, top people from every team. Our top person, Ryback this week with 14. Jared and Jesse, they have, it looks like 2. Big E and Kalisto both scoring 14.
Sweet.
And then Dady and Justin with Dean Ambrose scoring 14. Biggest losers, pretty much
My
fucking
team.
everyone. We had Alberto Del Rio -10. Jared and Jesse had Roman Reigns -10 and Devon, who they just dropped. But Roman Reigns is performing at the same level as Devon. Just
Right.
Thank you.
clarify that one there. I mean, Roman Reigns and Devon. Roman
Great
Reigns.
first round
Roman
pick.
Reigns also being their number 1 pick.
Overall.
Scoring -10. Granted, AJ Styles scored -4, but he was actually on the show at least.
If you guys want to drop Del Rio, you want to trade for Sin Cara and just drop Sin Cara.
I don't want Sin Cara.
You would just drop him.
Dady
pick
and
someone else
Justin,
up.
Brock Lesnar, as
What?
we called, -10. Sin Cara -10. Big Show. WTF -10. Bubble Ray -10. And the Usos, who they picked up off of us.
And Bubba Ray from Dady.
LOL -10.
I hate Dady.
So that is -10, -50.
So yeah, it is because Dady is a dumbass and traded away AJ. Or not AJ, Chris Jericho.
Whoa.
Wait, does that score even add up right?
No.
Absolutely
no
not.
fucking way.
You're way more negative than that.
Why?
There-
Who did that adding?
There's no way. -50.
There's
And then you
minus
have
50.
14 plus 11, that's 25, 34, maybe.
It's going to be close.
34,
Yeah.
38,
Plus
minus
the-
10.
plus
Whoa,
Xavier-
that's close.
Plus Xavier plus Rusev is
Yeah,
40.
I guess. Yeah, if you look, that's close.
Okay. It just doesn't look
It
right.
looks really bad.
Yeah, with all those big-ass minus 10s.
And Day-Day's to blame for 3 of them. That's awesome.
No.
Yes.
No.
He's to blame for Lesnar, Bubba Ray, and the Usos.
Lesnar is never going to be a payoff.
I
Just so you know.
understand this.
Like, that was a fucking dog you just got yourself with there.
I understand.
Big Show was rolling the dice, and it just didn't pay off because they sometimes randomly.
But
put
you're
them in
missing the
shit.
point. He made the picks, and that's why we're negative.
Well, you have
And
your
the trades.
opportunity right now to drop Brock Lesnar,
Who am I going to drop
Big
them
Show.
for?
I don't know.
I wanted.
Fucking anyone.
I want my trade back. I want my.
Fuck. Here's a good one.
You
Drop
want
the
trade
Big
one?
Show for Eric Rowan, who we just dropped, because you're gonna get fucking something. I mean,
Want
Eric
trade
Rowan
Lesnar?
scored 1. You want to know what fucking Big Show scored? Minus 10.
Minus 10.
1 is better than minus 10.
Whoa. We're a team. We need. I don't care.
Okay, we'll take Lesnar off his hands right now.
I mean, for what it's worth,
Hold up, Jesse.
now would now be the time to do it. Just being your advocate here, considering he's about to have a fucking win on Saturday. I don't know why you consider that one
We have Sheamus.
when I'm telling you, get rid
That
of
was one
the
of my
fucking
pickups.
Big Show. Get rid of the Big Show now. He's doing nothing for you.
Neither
Get rid of the Usos.
I mean, tag.
You have no possibility of shit with the Big Show.
And just to let you know, the Usos do not get points when they're in single matches. They just get 0. They get credit
I
for
know.
being on the show. And that happened on a Raw and a SmackDown where they were just in a singles match. So they got 0. And they won one. They lost both. So they actually got the minus 5. Because you take the loss, but you don't take the win in a tag match. That's,
Get rid of the Big Show and pick up Eric
I'm
Rowan.
trying to think. I'm trying to see like.
There's nothing to think about there. That's
Yeah,
a good
that's a
fucking move.
no-brainer.
Well,
That's a
You
no-brainer.
have 1.
No. At least
Well,
you're
okay,
not.
I'm,
Well,
taking
the
I'm
Wyatt
making
family
that
is
move.
a
I'm
big-
trying to see what I can trade to Jesse right
To
now.
be a dick, I would be like, well, you said you were set with the roster. No, I'm just kidding.
The only thing I would recommend if you want to get rid of Brock Lesnar is if you take one of his point scores.
That's what I'm trying to think.
would you
right
trade
now.
Sasha Banks at all?
Because you're giving away future points. But on SmackDown, which is coming up tomorrow, you're automatically losing points on Brock Lesnar should you pick up Lesnar now.
Yep.
So you're pretty much, you have to then take into consideration what you're actually coming out ahead after losing the points on SmackDown
Yeah, I know.
and gaining the points on the pay-per-view. So, I mean, obviously he's going to win on the pay-per-view, so you're still coming out ahead, but then you're stuck with the dog again on that
Stuck
following
with the
Raw.
dog until after Mania.
Well, you have Raw to drop them,
Yeah.
but you're going to take the points loss on Raw, so you're actually
Do
losing
you guys
on
want
2
to hold
shows.
on to Harper at the moment?
So you're going -10 twice. What's a pay-per-view victory, by the way?
This special event, I talked to Jesse about it. We're just going to count it as a Raw and SmackDown.
So
You're not going to get pay-per-view
Big
points
Show's
for it.
getting. Or, I'm
So
sorry,
you don't.
Lesnar
So if they're
is
not on
getting-
the show, if they're not on the
Lesnar's
show,
getting 10 points to be clear then when
if
he
he
wins.
would win, he'd get 10.
So you're losing 20 because he's not going to be on SmackDown.
Yeah.
He's not going to be on Raw, and even if he is on Raw, he's not having a match.
No.
So you're losing 20 on Lesnar, and you're only getting 10
I
points.
wouldn't lose 20 if he's on Raw because I wouldn't get the -10 if he's there. Because he's gonna do a promo or something.
Also, we're if your guy isn't on.
Well, I guess you're not coming out ahead though.
We're gonna have to do because pay-per-view. What I normally do is if you lose on pay-per-view, you actually don't lose points. You're getting 5 because of the double points for everyone else. So you get credit for actually being on the show. For this, I think this is. So I think this would be fair for if your guy wrestles and loses on this show, because he should get credit for being on the show. I'm thinking just +1.
Supposed to get
You just
in
get
that
1
shirt with
point.
you or something.
I think that's fair.
But
Instead of getting 5, because that's half. You know?
So what do you want? We'll take that.
You gonna do a 3-man trade? Like, not like including them, just 3 for 3.
Who's your 3?
if I'm giving up Lesnar, I really don't want to give up much to get him. I will give you.
Or we'll give you points if you include Sasha, and we'll give you someone else.
Give us Sasha and Lesnar. I'll give you it.
Sasha's like your only fucking money
Yeah.
maker.
Yeah.
Ambrose and Sasha. You know. Wouldn't mind having Kofi either, though.
I just want Sasha because she's hot.
If you take Xavier Woods and Kofi off their hands, you have the whole fucking New Day.
We should have a whole a completion
Yeah, but I
set
don't
bonus
necessarily
points.
want the whole New Day either. I'd be interested in Kofi because Kofi does get some pins and he does he does singles matches. Xavier, I have no interest in.
I'm actually pretty comfortable with our setup the way we have
Yeah.
it.
Only guy. I mean, I'd be
Strowman's
totally.
my only one, and he even scored. Triple H was on. He scored.
You want the Strowman?
No, we had the Strowman, remember?
Yeah, and you traded him to us.
What do you want
Do
for
him
Sasha
back?
back?
And
You
we
said
got
you
a
want your
point.
trade back.
Who wants Sasha?
I would
back?
want
Who
both
wants
back,
Sasha
though.
back?
I wanted to just
You got
get
Banks on
straight
the
back.
you got Banks on the trade block
No.
at all? That's the only person you can trade if you want to get anybody.
Yeah, Sasha's really
Yeah, Lesnar is going to tank someone's fucking team because no matter who takes them, they're losing points. They're guaranteed to lose points. It's just a matter of
Because I
how
would
much.
almost be willing to offer Strowman and Del Rio for Banks.
We'll give you
We
some
get
good,
two people that consistently are on the show.
We'll give you some good points for Banks as well. So
Then we can pick up Devon.
and that way we can take. Brock,
I would
That way we
up
can.
their offer on that.
That way we can take Brock Lesnar, who gives you a good -10. I want to make double with Big Mac.
I will not take Lesnar,
I want
no
Lesnar.
matter what, because that is just strapping yourself
Yeah.
with a fucking
I'm
bomb.
kind of looking
You
at it. I
can't
don't really want
offload
him either.
Lesnar fast enough for him to
Yeah.
make you anything.
No, you can't.
That's the thing. The only
Yeah.
move I would recommend is just straight up fucking dropping him.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
fucking drop him.
We had him completely off our board.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
drop Lesnar and
Yeah,
just
all I wanted
walk
him
away
for
from it.
was-
I wouldn't even worry about trading Lesnar. Drop
All I
Lesnar and
wanted
pick
him
up
for was
something.
that stupid stop sign for
Like,
the match.
maybe-
Shane McMahon's going to be a good ad once Mania is over because he'll be eligible to be picked up because he had a match within a calendar year. So therefore, he's eligible until he has another match again.
To be very honest, I would probably drop Brock Lesnar and pick up someone out of the pool, like from the Social Outcasts.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That way
Because
you're not
you're
getting
at
negative
least
points.
getting something out of it.
Right.
At least. So maybe do like fucking Curtis Axel or the English dude, Adam Rose. I would
Or even
recommend
Bo
probably
Dallas.
Adam Rose.
Or even Bo Dallas. I mean, there's a lot. You have a lot of.
I would
options
say
there.
Lesnar, as bad as it sounds, Lesnar for someone from the Social Outcasts.
Lesnar has no value.
You'll get something
until
there.
WrestleMania.
We'll take Lesnar.
And he's
Throw
going
in
to cost you
Sasha
so
Banks.
much up until WrestleMania because he's costing you 20 points a week, 20
Yeah.
points a week, 20
We'll
points a week.
absorb Lesnar.
Is there any way we
after
can get
throw
Big E
Banks
from
in
you guys?
it.
Without giving up Ambrose?
No, Big E stand.
Big E had a good fucking night.
Unless you give us like Sasha
East
Banks
End.
and Kofi. Then we just drop someone.
Well, here would be my trade if you guys would want. No, not official, just a discussion.
Just throw
It'd
it
be
out there.
Banks,
Come on.
Lesnar, and Kingston for Big E, Luke Harper, and Dolph Ziggler.
I'd take Lesnar and Harper. But
So you give us Kofi Kingston, Brock Lesnar, and Sasha Banks.
we don't want Brock Lesnar.
For Big E, Luke Harper, and Dolph Ziggler.
Not happening. Not happening.
What do you guys think at home?
Marcus, you got an idea on that?
I'd be okay with that almost.
Giving up Big E. And
The only way that Banks is leaving is you have to take Lesnar, and I would trade Kofi as the incentive to get Big E.
I mean, if you think about it, Dolph Ziggler is so iffy.
Yeah, but at least we get points off him.
Well, yeah, but then, sometimes he loses. And that way we can just drop Brock Lesnar right away.
That's the thing with Dolph Ziggler is he's just the fucking victim of that even Stevens
Yeah, he
wish
is.
wash fucking
Yeah, he
booking
is.
where win, lose. So he
Yeah.
cancels himself out in a matter of a week.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you look at the points, Kofi Kingston 11, Big E had 3 because he had the pin? 3 extra?
Andrew?
Yeah.
I think since no one else is making a move, I'm pretty sure I'm dropping Show and picking up Rowan.
We should do that because, we can just drop what's his face right away and pick up someone else.
You can take your points and drop Lesnar next week.
Wouldn't we be able to drop him?
We're dropping
today?
him immediately. Yeah, we're dropping him as soon as the trade's over.
What?
Lesnar, if we do this trade.
If you pick up Lesnar,
We
that
lose
is-
points with Lesnar. Yep. We drop him immediately.
Lesnar's a fucking
Unless
ticking time bomb.
Unless you
There.
want to tank and then pick up Shane.
You know, I'm actually okay with that trade too. With Biggie, Harper, and Ziggler for Lesnar, Banks, and
You made it official. You dropped Big Show.
Yeah, Big Show's gone for
Okay.
sure.
so it's Banks, Lesnar, and Kofi for Biggie, Harper, and Ziggler.
Yeah.
You want to give us Xavier Woods too?
You know what's gonna be interesting? The week going into Mania, because you can do some crazy ass shit the week going into Mania and turn out somewhat okay, possibly.
Yeah,
Someone
Undertaker's
you think-
going to be the one that.
Here's the thing. Okay, you pick up Undertaker. You're picking up the Undertaker on Monday.
Yeah, you're going to lose the
You're
points
losing
for
on SmackDown.
Yep.
Immediately.
You get
And
hella
then
points
you're hella points for what?
WrestleMania.
What do you get for
20,
WrestleMania? You get 20 points. So you're
So you get
losing
10.
10. Now you're down to 10. And you're losing on the Raw right after.
Yeah, that's
Well, he
true.
might be on the Raw after.
Maybe.
Possible.
Maybe.
Throw on Xavier Woods and
You're losing 10, though.
we got ourselves a
For
deal.
what? Slater or Truth?
I would throw Xavier, but I want Charlotte. I need
The
a diva.
best possible performer
I
on
want
here.
Xavier
The
for
best two
Charlotte.
performers on
I
here
would
right
need
now.
a diva. That's the only way Xavier
I'm
goes.
not doing Xavier for Charlotte. It's not happening.
If I was you, I wouldn't be even trading because you're ahead of these guys. You're ahead of them by like 10 or whatever that is. So you guys have done enough to like,
We're also
Stay-
catching them
stay-
very
yeah.
fast.
yeah.
Best performer on there right now, best two, are actually by your two teams. You have Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, who have the most potential out of anyone fucking up there.
Yeah.
We're sitting on a rock with Chris Jericho because that one will carry us a little bit further, but then after Mania, we got to drop the shit out of him.
That's fine.
Yeah,
But he gets
so
us point. I
he-
told
he's
you
gonna
when we made that
consistently-
trade that I was all for it
That's-
because he's
that's
on
the
every
trade.
Raw and every
Yeah.
SmackDown.
R-Truth
So
for,
he's like
Yeah.
a really good guy to have up till
So
me.
we don't have any like great performers. It's just consistent.
And we're probably going to hold on to Triple H just because he's going to get consistent points. He's going to be on
Our
every
Truth
show.
ends up losing us anything.
Want to do the trade? He's down. I'm up.
I'm okay with it. Biggie, Harper, Ziggler, Banks, Lesnar, Kofi.
You have to write this down.
You guys are picking up two really good ones. It's just I don't know, Lesnar, man.
Lesnar's gone immediately, and then we pick up fucking probably someone.
What?
Marcus said he'd pass.
Pass on one.
Why is
trade.
Lesnar in play? Would be my
He
question.
wants to get rid of Lesnar, but he doesn't
So
wanna
drop
him.
Lesnar. Fucking drop him.
Just drop the fucker.
Drop Lesnar. Bring in who the fuck did we drop? Oh, he already picked him up. So pick up a social outcast for Lesnar, and then trade those away.
The other thing is Lesnar's going to be at Roadblock, and he might be at the next Raw. I don't know if he's advertised for it, but he might be. So,
Wait.
so that's you got
Lesnar
three
can just be
shows.
dropped. You don't even have to trade Lesnar. Just fucking drop him.
Pick up Devon.
Anyone.
Or if you want, we won't drop him. for
Then
a
you got
week.
the Dudleys. That way, when the Dudleys
That way we
wrestle,
take
you're
the
gonna get
negative
10
no one
points
has
every
to take
time.
the hit. Fuck. Pick him up in the trade and drop him. Get rid of him. Now's the time. If you pick up a dog like Lesnar, drop him.
Or we keep.
Or can we not drop him after we pick him up right away?
You're not allowed to add. You can't add someone you just dropped. That's the
Right.
rule.
Right.
So, like for us, we dropped Eric Rowan. We can't add
him back
We
up.
can't add it. We can add him after he clears through everyone else.
Right.
Like if we want to go back and say, "Oh, my next move, I want to drop Ryback for Brett Favre."
So
Well,
essentially, they could take the trade right now with Lesnar being in the mix, and then drop Lesnar immediately and pick someone else up for him.
right.
Yes.
However, I think
That's my
because
thing.
he went for his move because no
Um,
one made moves.
Fuck it.
So right now, who's on the clock is them anyways. They're on the clock as of right now to make any moves because we all passed around.
Unless we don't drop Lesnar and keep him and take the negative points. That persuades you.
Why take the negative points?
Because I like negative points.
Also, trades can happen anytime, so it's not like you have to do it on the show to do trades. Only adds and drops because we did a trade off the air.
Well, it's up to you. I'm okay with that trade.
Yeah,
Me and Jared
we
accept.
have the pending for accepted with the check mark. We're just waiting on the pending from.
That's on you.
I think I'm actually going to think about it now because Rob made a lot of good points.
Yep. It's cool.
Rob's just like, hey.
That's why our
We'd be,
team's in the
I'm interested in Sheamus.
Okay.
Yeah, but are you going to give me anything for him?
What do you want?
Really?
Yeah.
We passed on Sheamus.
We did. Well, no, because the reason we passed was because they were going to pick. I didn't want to drop Eric Rowan at the time.
I don't want Braun Strowman.
Would you be interested in trading New Day for New Day?
Now,
Trading what?
No.
I'm just interested in.
What about something with Del Rio involved?
Not Del Rio straight up. I'd rather have Sheamus over Del Rio.
I'm vice versa on that one. I'd rather have Del Rio. If it were the two, I'd rather have Del Rio than Sheamus.
I like Del Rio in single matches better than I like Sheamus in single matches.
Mm-hmm.
I like Sheamus in tag matches.
Yeah, Sheamus is good in tag matches. He's never going to take a fucking pin either. But
Neither is Del Rio.
that's
Sheamus
why
is
I feel like we
safety one.
have equivalents in Del Rio and Sheamus.
You really do.
That
I
would
feel
be,
like it's like
Yeah.
Kofi and Big E.
Yeah.
You know, where it's
Yeah.
like
It doesn't really matter that much. Right. Right.
I feel like our diamond in the rough is Ryback. That's our fucking. You thought I was crazy. With
I
that
was.
one,
That was
too.
our last pick.
You thought I was out of my mind with Ryback, and I'm like, this fucker's
That
gonna
was our
pay
last-
off for us.
that
They're
was
gonna
our
do
last
something
pick.
with him. Yeah,
We haven't dropped really anyone since the draft.
fucker made us in here half our points tonight.
Right. And we actually had a Raw where everybody was on it. We didn't get a -10 from anyone this week.
Del Rio.
Oh, yeah. Fuck Del Rio.
Yeah, I know.
So what are the offers on Sasha? I'm just curious.
We told you ours.
Yeah.
We'll give you Sheamus.
No,
I'm not sure I'd give up my moneymaker. It'd be -19 without her.
I'll give you Sheamus.
What are you gonna pick up for that? I mean, you could take a +8 for a 9.
Sasha.
I mean, you got a
give you
guaranteed
Sheamus
WrestleMania
at a
match
low,
with her.
actually.
She's probably picking up the title,
Yeah.
and she's going to have consistent matches that are only going to look to strengthen her between now and Mania.
That's why I'm interested.
So is Becky Lynch, too.
Yeah.
Because I
Well,
want.
we have.
Right.
Sasha
So
would be about the only one I'm really interested. I mean, I'm okay with.
I mean,
like, Kofi
I'd be
too,
willing to
but-
do like Becky and something for her. That's really about it, though. Because, and the guys, realistically, what-
I don't think he'd take that. I wouldn't take that.
but
Would you take Charlotte for Sasha? She has the title. You don't know if she's not gonna win.
I wouldn't. You get more points for a title win than you do a title
they're not going to
defense.
build up Charlotte between now and Mania, though.
Yeah, they'll let Flair do it.
She's not going to really have many matches. They're going to
No,
let
she's
Sasha.
not
They're
really
going to put
much
Sasha and
She's getting
Becky Lynch in
beatdowns
different
and she's getting
combinations.
promos, and that's it.
Yeah.
Beatdowns, promos.
And with our new beatdown rules,
But
it's
she
not gonna
won't
be
take
this
a
much.
loss, but she might not have appearances on like SmackDown and shit.
I don't think she'll go to negative. I think she'll still have appearances regardless. Because they're going to have Divas matches.
You guys are gonna take in probably another -10 for Reigns for SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yep.
Possible. Not dropping them.
That was the moneymaker.
You should trade him to us. We'll take him. I can afford a -10 from him right now.
Yeah.
For who?
I let him sit in limbo. Fuck him. I just let him sit.
Okay with trading him, but I'm not taking
I'll trade
Braun
you an-
Strowman for him.
I'll trade you an agreement that if you put Roman Reigns in limbo and he stops
What's going
losing you points.
What the hell are you talking about?
What is limbo?
What's limbo? Like what's?
The fucking
Wombo.
roster.
Like the free agent pool.
Like
The
drop
free agent
him?
pool.
I'm
I
telling
wouldn't take him.
I'm telling you right now,
I
if you
feel like Reigns
drop
is
Roman
toxic.
Reigns, I will drop Sin Cara and pick up Roman Reigns. Just for simple fact, I'd rather have Roman Reigns give me -10 than Sin Cara give me -10. I don't give a shit what
He's
Rob
got a
says
pretty
about
good point
Limbo.
there.
Fuck that
He's
shit.
got a pretty good point.
Coming
there.
back, coming back. Roman Reigns will get points. Sin Cara's gonna
No,
die.
you guys would have to take them, or it'd be some kind of trade where we agree that we'll eat it for a little bit and then you take them.
Well, Sami Zayn.
What, that we trade off the burden of Roman Reigns and then we give him back to you for Mania?
No, like we take the burden
Yes.
of Roman Reigns after Mania, you get them. We keep them till Mania. After Mania, you get them.
So what do we get in the meantime for that?
Well, who are you taking from us then after Mania? So we're agreeing on a trade after Mania?
Yeah, it'd be an after Mania type trade.
Okay. So, and we're agreeing upon it now regardless of what happens.
So you're going to take the burden of Reigns all the way up through Mania.
What's your issue? No.
And
Well,
then
what guy
drop him right away?
what guy do you want? Like who's your guy?
If anything, you should do it the opposite way. We give you Reigns back after Mania where he won't be a fucking burden anymore. Because you're taking nothing but fucking losses right now on him. And then the championship, even if he wins it, it's not going to pay off for all the losses you've gotten up to it.
He's got to appear sometime. He's not going to be.
He's probably going to be
Mania.
he's probably going to be on next Raw.
Yeah, he's not going to be going until Mania.
But there's no guarantee he's going to even be in a match.
So I think our only trade is for Sasha Banks.
But I'm just curious, like, if we did something like a limbo trade like that, who's the guy you want off the roster?
I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't think Jared's real excited about this.
I'm totally
trade.
not agreeing to this Limbo thing.
But I
If you
would
drop him, I'm
probably-
taking him.
No, because we're going to keep it in our fucking roster then. We're not going to make him available to you.
I'd probably be interested in AJ Styles.
No.
Oh.
AJ Styles would be who I'd be interested in.
I know you like the Colts, but come on.
Wow, I can.
Sasha Banks.
Who are you not happy with on your team?
Oh, you want someone from us?
Oh, I kind of.
You're out of your fucking mind. You're not getting anyone from us.
I would give you point people for AJ.
You're going to give us Ambrose?
No.
Well, then what the fuck are you?
The only
Well,
people
you
I want
can-
on your team
You can give me
is Sasha
Banks
or Ambrose.
or Ambrose, and you'll get AJ. Otherwise, you don't have shit.
So if we do a 3-man trade and we end up getting AJ Styles,
I see
we trade AJ
58. I see
Styles.
58
for
minus
Sasha Banks
10s right
trophy.
here. I'm not
I wouldn't
taking
give
one
you
of
the
them
minus 10
because they
people.
are
I would-
minus 10 for a reason.
I was
So you
thinking
have
I would take
Woods, I'm
somebody
not
off your
taking.
team that's a
Rusev,
1 or
I'm
2
not.
point person for AJ and AJ for like Banks and
A
like,
1 or 2 point person.
Yeah,
Fuck.
on your team.
We have, let's see here. For single digits, we have a 1, a 2, a 3. You have a minus 10, a minus 10, and a minus 10.
I wouldn't give you a minus 10. I would
and
want
then-
like I don't know, maybe Becky and AJ for like Sasha and Xavier. Save points.
So hold on a second. So right now we're all in agreement that there's no ads or drops right now.
As of this second.
Oh, I'm gonna drop
Right.
I want to drop Sin Cara.
You're dropping Sin Cara?
Yeah.
Okay,
right now,
so-
if there's no trades, we're happy.
right, but I'm just saying because it sounds like we have trade talks right now, and I don't want this all
I
about
guess
the
this
podcast.
podcast just going like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
because right now we're not entertaining
Well,
anybody.
Okay,
So
let him do whatever he's got to do with his roster because we're happy.
All right.
so we can end
Our
the
two
show
teams
and
are
then
happy.
we
You
can
an
talk
ass.
trade talks.
We could just pause the show and then add it
We're
on.
live.
You really
Oh,
want
I'm
to
into the
Okay.
to Audacity.
Not happening. We're
All right.
live.
Let's wrap the show up here.
We'll wrap the show
We're
up.
pretty set.
I'm going to play a song
Do
for
I get
us.
to make the drop?
I eventually want to get rid of these.
This song is called "To Be
Right now,
Continued"
there's nobody
by
to drop
Smash
that.
Mouth off
These
of
literally
their
like
East
say,
Bay
we had a chance at take
their
before
East Bay
coming out.
album.
These
And
literally
with that,
people like,
I'm Andrew Carraci alongside
Robert Roth.
and
Jared Lehouiller.
And Justin.
we'll be back next week, 10:30, next week Monday.
So you didn't even make it.
Waking up in the morning, my ex is calling. She tells me to get a job. She tells me that I'm a slob, but still she's calling until 3 in the morning. I come home stumbling. I'm looking for something to eat. My head is killing me. It's not as good as it seems, but I know one thing is true. Things were better when I had you. cheat on each other. I punched your brother. Call the police on me. The dad's coming after me. Don't be taking my daughter. Restraining orders. I keep changing my number. You're putting the blame on me. I didn't know that she was under 18. She showed me a fake ID. It's not as good as it looks. It's not as good as it seems. But I know one thing is true. I'm just trying to get rid of you. Slashing my tires. She broke into my room. Went through my garbage. Checking under my covers. I'm looking for others. Investigating my laundry. Changing my devils. She threw a brick through my window. Wrapped in a letter saying I hate you. I wanna kill you, I can never forgive you. But I know one thing is true, to be continued.